Let's see. My bad. I was on mute. How's it going? I didn't want y'all to hear me clicking in the background. Hope y'all had a great day. Let's see. We're just gonna wait till some other people get in the room. Hey, how's it going? Actually, let me put the live stream in the chat. Let's see. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Hope you had a great day. Okay. How's it going, everyone? Just waiting for some other people to get in the room. How are y'all doing? What's up, OB? How you been? I did. It should be in the chat. Let me put the link up again. It's good. It's good to hear that. Thanks for joining. Oh, shit. Let's see. Just trying to get my little talking points. Okay. OB's joining. Hey, what's up, OB?
What up, boss?
Hey.
I'm exercising, watching some baseball, man.
That's what's up. I need to get an exercise in. I'm gonna hopefully. I've been saying all week, like, hey, I'm gonna start putting these 2-a-days in. I've been having like a hell of a week. I haven't really been able to go to the gym, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get to go to either tonight or tomorrow morning. One of the two.
I really recommend the Peloton, brother.
I mean,
Or
listen.
that, I like the Peloton because you need the cardio, but at one point, I really wanted that LeBron machine, just the electrical weights. But now I just have like the Bowflex retractable weights. And basically, all the Peloton, they have different weightlifting classes, and you can use that. They have like substitutes for bench that you can do on the floor. Without a bench, if you don't have one, I don't think it works as good. But other than that, I don't know. I think it works just as good, but you don't really see it because I feel like maybe if you use just the electric weight system that they have, like by LeBron them that they advertise, maybe you can lift more weights.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if I don't know if the number really affects more than anything than your attitude. I don't know. It'd be a good test to see. But yeah, I'm really a big fan of Peloton, brother. I've been having it for like 5 years.
When I was married, I had one. It was my ex-wife's idea. It's a great product because we had it in the pandemic. I'll be honest with you. No tea, no shade. Like, it's a great product. It's awesome. A lot of that stuff is like pre-recorded live, so it's awesome. I at the time I had like a LA Fitness membership, and I loved going to the in-person cycle. But I'll tell you what my Peloton is, quote unquote. Orange Theory Fitness. That shit is addicting, and they get you in some really great shape. They whoop your ass though. But
I've kind of looked into it, not looked into it like I physically looked into it. Like
yeah.
I used to see one next to a Trader Joe's that I visited in the city of Dallas, and it looked cool as far as just it looked relaxing. It was always dark when I looked through the window, but other than that, I don't know much about it. Go ahead.
It's a fucking hard workout. Like, I'm telling you, like, if you don't know how to stretch right, if you mess around and do the wrong things, do it incorrectly, you can get some sports injuries. Like, it's the reason why, like, I had to not only get the membership for them, but I had to get like a recovery type of thing. Like, I got some like I bought like a pack of like cold tub things to like soothe my muscles and all that kind of stuff. But like, I love the way I feel after an Orange Theory workout. I have Planet Fitness on the side because they're like just 3 blocks away from me, but Orange Theory Fitness is like 8-10. So I'm gonna try to get back to Orange Theory Fitness. Like, I'm gonna get in some great shape again.
So tell me a little bit about the exercises. What do they do, like in the Orange Theory?
So they do 3 separate sections. Just on the bare bones: treadmills, rower machines, and floor exercises. All three intense. I like to finish on the treads because that shit. And even if you don't want to do the treads, you can do bike or you can do like a elliptical type, what they call stride or whatever. But it's intense. It's like instructor led. That's what I really like about it. It's just like Peloton. It's instructor led. I feel like I need that motivation. They tell you exactly what exercises to do. Like, they're working the whole room saying treads, do this on this speed, step it up, bring it down. Same thing with the rowers are telling people like, hey, go all out. Hey, do this for 2 minutes. Do this for 200 meters. Blah, blah, blah. And on the floor, there's like a TV showing you exactly the reps and the exercises you need to do, and they're going to show you too. But it is a tough workout. I mean,
and how much is it a month? It's pretty expensive, isn't it?
I mean, unlimited. I got one on a December discount, and it's $130 a month. I think it's normally like 180. Like, a
No
month.
discount for 2?
I don't think so. I don't.
Jesus.
You got to catch. Yeah, you got to catch them. But I think
That's more than what's that? That's more than Lifetime.
it's probably more than Peloton.
Yeah. It's definitely by far. I think the subscription for Peloton is only like 44 a month. But I mean, Lifetime to me is state of the art. Besides, it's a gym. It'll come to me later. I know there's another one that a lot of uppity people. But I mean, when it comes to Lifetime, I've been to the doctor before and just chit chatting with the doctor, and he's like, "Yeah, I work out at Lifetime with Mark Cuban. Like we play basketball up there." So if it's good enough for a billionaire, and I mean, maybe the guy was lying, but I just don't understand why a doctor would lie about something like that to a patient. But anything is possible. But that's all I say. And I think that kills Lifetime prices. Maybe Lifetime 75 a month.
I gotta look at what our Lifetime is, but like I'll be honest with you, with the way the rappers are talking about Equinox, I want to try Equinox just one time. I know
that's the gym I was thinking about too.
Yeah, it's super expensive. It's like the Nobu of gyms, apparently. But man, fitness it's important. Like I feel so good when I get that workout in. Like when I was going to Orange Theory Fitness, I would wake up and I would do 5 a.m. workouts just before work, and I would meet my daily goal. I would be burning like probably like 700, 800 plus calories.
How do you find the time? See, that's why I love the Peloton. I would enjoy the classes, but I literally don't like. I haven't had a job yet where I don't bring it home with me. And like, kind of like, yeah, that's just the main thing. So I never find the time like to stay on track on what I want to do. I had this plan, but if I got to stay a couple of hours late at work, like I can't drive to a gym.
That's why I'm trying to do those 5 a.m. workouts, because with all the bullshit that happens throughout the day or how it beats you down after the work, you're like, man, I feel like I need to go get drunk after work. You don't feel like going to a gym at that moment. But if you wake up for me, if I wake up at 5 a.m., listen, it's already done. It's behind me. So now I can do whatever the fuck I can go tackle the day, no matter if I win or lose. I still got that workout in. But like, listen, today now with pool, the team kind of broke up a little bit. I might have to get back in the pool so I can qualify still to play this tournament that I'm in. But with YouTube, kind of climbing in terms of responsibility, with work, climbing in terms of responsibility, with what else? Dating, pool. There's something else I'm missing, but it's just I'm getting pulled at the seams. I get exactly what you're saying. It's hard that you have to. It's a commitment, and that's why I say
what about people's energy? Like I stay in a nice building now. I stayed in a nicer building before this. I was like, I'm probably the second person that lived in the apartment building that I'm renting now, and the last one I definitely was the second. I know for a fact. And even with that being so, the point that I'm trying to get at, the gym was pretty nice, but I don't really like also just being affected by other people's energy. Maybe I'm excited, I'm ready to go. I walk in the gym and the people, hello, just courtesy. And maybe they're Debbie Downer, or maybe they're over talking me, or maybe I feel like I'm over talking them. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That's what I like about Orange Theory Fitness is like, one, if I go to a regular gym, sometimes I'll be motivated, sometimes I'll not. I won't be. Sometimes someone's on your machine versus Orange Theory Fitness, you're gonna always have a space. Depending on those 3 sections or whatever. But like, I just want to get my workout in and get in and get out. I don't want to be, I don't want someone sharking me, trying to say, like, hey, you've been on this machine too long, get the hell up off of it. Like, but like I said, like I just want the results. So like Orange Theory Fitness, it's a very intense workout. Some of my physical therapists have been questioning, like, hey, this might be too intense. Maybe you need to like dial it down. But like, I like the way it pushes me in the results it gets. I'm gonna try to get back into it. Because like I said, fitness and health is super key. It's even just for vanity purposes, or whatever. So I'm gonna try to get back into that. But how you been, man?
Good. No complaints.
That's good.
What about your date? You talking about that now, or you waiting until later?
I don't know. I was gonna wait until the chat starts getting kind of lively, but I do want to talk about something maybe before that. I was watching. We're not going to mention the 2 geriatric detractors of this channel, but I did watch they made a special about Zed on last Friday. I mean, they spent half the show talking about me. The whole show was supposed to be about Zed. Whatever. But they were talking. One of the things I want to talk about was just kind of like they were giving these older men, or just men in general. They're giving, a lot of them are putting out really bad advice, bad dating advice. They're trying to like almost like get men to like toe the line and like keep this low effort standard perpetuating. So like, I don't know where you stand on like. So what one of them said, the one who was really balding, he was talking about, hey, he was encouraging men to go to overseas. Like, hey, Sasua, that's a men's training ground. You should. That's what every man. You should definitely do that, and you just get that out your system and stuff like that. And I'm like, but aren't you the guys that weren't you anti-passport bros when you were talking on this channel? When you wouldn't take the label. You said, no, we're not passport bros because we're military. We were doing this before it was a thing. So it's like, but what they were trying to say was, he also said something about, hey, it doesn't matter if the woman has a man, just tell her you're okay with that and just keep proceeding. I'm like, what?
Okay. What is your stance? My first stance on that, when I think about that, even like if I go to just, I would say, less mature mind frame and saying guys just having fun, the same thing still pops in my mind that they never talk about: diseases. Like, I've used protection, and protection breaks sometimes. Then what?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess you could always, go and try to get the pill, 24 hours. Maybe I've met with someone who has, one of those you can't get rid of diseases, but I don't think they really, I don't know. I don't know why that doesn't scare them, basically.
That's what I'm saying is, like, a lot of these passport bros don't realize these men who are telling them, encouraging them to be passport bros, they're kind of leading them to the slaughterhouse, because they're not going to deal with those STDs or STIs that they get. Some of them might be permanent, lifelong, and they're just gonna be like, well, I hope you had fun. It's like, so I wouldn't tell. That's the one thing that I find really weird is, like, some of these passport bros are getting unalived. So, that was something I wanted to cover. Some of these are, like you said, are, getting STDs. It's not all that's cracked up to be. So that it's just being sold like, hey, it's the land of milk and honey. These women are perfect. But as
the STD, the easy one. I'm saying the Magic Johnson.
Oh, okay. Because
I'm laughing, but not funny.
There's definitely some really terrible ones. That's one of them. Another one, the other one, I don't know if we're able to say on this channel, but like, there's herpes too. I mean, you can't get rid of that shit.
Right. And and correct me, I'm a little ignorant to it, but is it that transferred? I know my wife always messes with me about that type of stuff, just through kissing. I'm an intimacy guy. I got a good looking lady, man. I want to kiss a little bit.
Facts. Like, listen, that's the reason why I think I can't be a fuckboy. They're like, man, you just can't kiss these women in the mouth. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. That's on the menu. I mean, that's not coming off the menu. Cuddling and kissing, that's not coming off the menu. I'm sorry, but there's two of them. There's one called HV1, which is the mouth. There's HV2, which is the genital.
Okay.
The one on the mouth, you typically see a cold sore. I don't know what the infection period for the one that is on the mouth, but you get the one on the bottom and you go down on that person, you now have HV1. Sorry, you have HV1. If someone who has HV1 goes down on you, you have HV2. You have now the genital herpes. And it's transferred by skin. So, and they said, like, it has like an infection period of like up to like a year or something like that. So it's like, so what I'm trying to say is, like, you could have contracted it and it might not show up for a year or whatever the heck. So it's like, a lot of these people think like, oh, if I just wear a condom, I'm good. No. If that skin touches your skin, it's donezo. I mean, and that shit and apparently that shit can shed too. And you can infect you too. So it's like, that's the one thing that's super weird about this passport bro stuff. And it's just like, listen, I get it. And I was talking to one of these ex-women that I was dating, the last one specifically, the previous one, and she said, Lil, I was gonna have it as a conversation piece for this panel. Was like, should prostitution be legal? She says it should be. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I like these guys flying overseas if they're that thirsty, because, like, I feel like if prostitution was legal over here, first and foremost, it would never be affordable enough for these passport bros to actually feel like it's a good deal.
Okay.
And two, if it was legal, I think, as we've seen from these men, like specifically BA is so spoiled. I think there's still some potential, but a lot of these men, I think it's done. Like, they're not going to be able to kind of divorce themselves from this lifestyle of being able to put the cart before the horse, not really, respect intimacy or value organic situations. Just, you can go straight to buying it like it's Costco. So it's like, I think I jumped over your point. What was your point? You were talking about something. I went up way tangential on.
No, you're fine. Fine. I mean, I don't know where I stand on that. I'm mixed. I'm in between. I would need a lot more research. just to make a decision on something like that. Because I've been to Europe a lot and I've seen it. I've been to Amsterdam, and literally after doing my research and just kind of realizing like, oh, okay, that was like a kid's fantasy. And my wife wanted to go see it too. Like we've all heard about it. But after actually kind of getting there and doing our research, we were just kind of like, this is like in Dallas, we have a Harry Hines. You know, in LA, I forget the name of the street, but it's basically like I don't want to go to the Skid Row of prostitution. Like it basically it's not as glamorous what the TV makes it seem. So I easily skipped over it. So it kind of makes me feel like a lot of people and the young men don't really pay it any mind. It's been there for forever since they were kids.
Yeah.
But like I said, I would need more research. Like, do teenagers visit that? I would need to go to Europe and talk to some young guys and ask, have any of y'all lost y'all's virginity at a brothel? Or, you know, maybe after prom night, do any of the guys go there just as a whole prom thing or whatever? Like, I don't know. I don't know how they use it like that. So I would need more research.
I just don't. I just think there's different like types of people, and some people that might be exciting, but I'm just like, it's not that hard to date in the States. I don't understand. Like if you just want to get the experience of a brothel, I get it. But some of these passport bros, they're making a whole damn lifestyle. And it's like, no, this is just, I'm tired of, I don't want to put in the effort. This is just what it is. This is what I wanted. I just want to get straight to the point. I mean, if they like it, I love it. But we were talking about something before the prostitution talk about just like dating expectations. And
what do you think about? What do you think about? And I tried to get your email to send you this. Yeah. I was wanting to see so you could have time to watch it, and I didn't watch the video, so I just know little clips that my wife told me about. What do you think? And I thought your email was on the website, but it wasn't. So I was like, I'll just get it from her when I'm on here. So we'll do it at some point or whatever. No rush to do it.
Yeah,
but
I definitely need to get your email.
What do you think? What do you think about the whole Cam Newton thing? I'm pretty sure
I wanted to show that video. Actually, that's a good pivot. We could like talk about that. Like, so people that might not know, this might be a time where we need to like put some fair use on and look at it. Let's look at it. I don't have timestamps for it, but I've watched it. That was I saw Sexy Red TV talk about it. Let's see, share screen. Let's see, window. Yeah, let's just try that.
As you look forward, and I guess as we're thinking about this, I'm just wondering, is that the accountability that the Black society is missing?
Ooh, yeah, let's talk all through this video. So let me switch over to my account.
So update me, maybe I'm wrong. So the guy already has 8 kids, right? And 3 baby mothers.
Right.
And he says he's still ready for children. And I'm a gamer. So I see him online every day doing the NCAA, the Madden. And I was kind of telling my wife, to me, that's weird. Like to have all that going for you, like he hasn't grown up yet. He's my older brother. I stand by it. He always told me that like there's no second childhoods. Make sure you ain't trying to live a second childhood. Make sure you ain't dating a woman who's stuck in that trying to live a second childhood. And I feel like that's where he's at with it. Like what grown man has time to sit up and just game 24 hours a day? Like play Madden NCAA. It's one thing if you're doing it with your kids over some bonding time. A little downtime, but I was like, it's just kind of sad. Like, why doesn't he become a coach?
Well, I mean,
high school, just anything. I've even heard of Brett Favre, like being a high school coach for his daughter and stuff at certain things, like just to give some structure to his life.
Well, it's as a person who was a former coach, because like I've said maybe briefly, my team that we went to Vegas, we got back from Vegas like within 3 weeks. We decided to go separate ways because we were kind of a heavy team. Being a coach, it takes a certain type of player. Like Michael Jordan, I don't think he's been a coach. I don't think he wants to be. LeBron, he said he could clearly. They call him the GM. But it's like I don't think everybody's got it in them, the temperament to be a coach, because it's like there's a lot of moving pieces that you have to be accountable for. You can't just be passionate about one aspect of the game. Now, to your point, maybe Cam Newton could be. I think part of it, to be honest with you, is I don't think it's just give my honest opinion. I think Cam Newton isn't over the fact that his career ended the way it ended. I think he wanted to still have a resurgence. He never got it, and now he doesn't want to. I don't think he wants to play on the field, and he never got his chance. And that's just my hot take. I think he does. I don't think he wants to really be a coach, and I think he wants another chance that he never really got.
Got you.
But let's jump into these clips because this was good. Fair use. Wow. No judgment. Sheesh. That is a wild statement. No, you're not. Cam, stop. You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based. Fair use. You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids for 3 different women. You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selective. Facts. Okay, so you're creating. Talk to him. In disclaimer, the kids are innocent. They are beautiful and amazing. Anything I said, nothing to do with the babies. Because I can't wait to be a mom. I love the baby kids. Period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing dad. I can only imagine with just your presence and him knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house. Right. Them. So some child, if not all, will end up with some kind of deficit without Daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, "Fair use. So I'm going to go make a baby." Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear? Do it anyways. And yeah, that is a low-functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in there. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my. Come on, Cam. You better have an answer for this. Where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody you spend your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish. Just to one episode. Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. Wait, how old is Cam Newton? 37? Talking about he's taking his time. Okay, he's 35.
So how do you think he's going to be able to afford all these kids?
Oh, let's get into that. We got like another minute.
Okay.
You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Okay. Let's talk about it so we don't get struck. Okay. So your question was, how's he going to afford it?
Yeah, even with being a millionaire, with the rate at how they do child support, I don't think it's feasible for some guy who made 39 million to go out and have 12 children.
See, I agree with this, but I think it's I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm really not playing devil's advocate with this. But like, what age did he get into the NFL? Like 21, 20, 22? Let me see. What, 24? What age did?
He's only probably made 39 million over his whole career.
Mm-mm.
I mean, think about it. You can see $100 million contract, but they're in a different tax bracket. So 50% of that is gone. So if you get $100 million contract, you're already at 50 right off the top. Now he's just got to live off that for forever.
I will say this. If y'all are in Atlanta, y'all need to come to Cam Newton's restaurant called Fellowship. It's official. Brunch, dinner, probably just even maybe it could even be a sports bar. His restaurant's official. I don't know what investments he's got, but like,
is it better than Candy's?
Hell yeah. Candy's, with all due respect, Old Lady Gang is cool. It had a little bit of buzz when it first came out. It's kind of like Jay-Z. I want to say that, but I was to say the joke anyway. When Jay-Z said like you start with a spark, but now you just garbage. It is not. Candy's Old Lady Gang is cool. It's on no level like Fellowship at all. Hers is just kind of like a nice little chain, little restaurant in Atlanta. There's like a couple locations, but no, it's. Listen to this point. Who's that dude who the little young food reviewer who gets roasted and he tried to go from place to place? What's his name?
Are you talking about the guy like who's supposed to be a boxer or something like that?
Yeah.
Keith Lee.
He came to Atlanta and went to go see Old Lady Gang, and that's when I knew. No disrespect to anybody who's listening live or in the chat. That's when I knew his taste in food was shit. Because like you come to Atlanta and you go to Old Lady Gang, that's what you go to. No, that is not a place that's a place, with all due respect, like I would put it on the same level on how do I do
so will his last? Because Jordan's didn't last. When I went to Chicago like 2 years ago, it's gone. It's just an empty steakhouse. I just talked to a guy, a vlogger, pretty cool guy. He was in New York. So I was like, man, go to the Jay-Z club. I want to see it. So he was like, I'm going to do it for you. He walked to it. It was closed down. It's no longer open. So, I mean, a lot of these people's restaurants fail. Puff Daddy, when I was in Atlanta, I remember seeing that when I went to, I don't remember, maybe whichever one it was, there's one next to it and I went to it and it was actually open. And Justin's was closed, and then I looked it up, and then they said a shooting happened or something like that. So it was gone.
Yeah, like
how many black restaurants actually last?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's hard to say. To your point, a lot of these celebrity restaurants, Ludacris had one called Chicken and Waffles. I think it might be in the airport of Atlanta. Who else? Ludacris had one. It closed. Sorry, he had a couple restaurants, but I think some of them closed. He has one in the restaurant, Chicken and Beer. Chicken and Beer is kind of cool, but T.I.'s got one. I haven't been to it. I think 2 Chainz might have one. Who else has got a restaurant? I think there was like a Love and Hip Hop dude who created like the Benzino. He came to Atlanta. He tried to create like a juicy crab thing. It probably didn't last.
And Gladys Knights is the restaurant.
That shit was cool. I don't even. That's a good conversation. I don't think Old Lady Gang is even on the level of Gladys Knights, Glass and Ron's. It's not on that level.
Okay.
Glass and Ron's was like, yo, when you came in town, you wanted to at least go to that place once. Okay, Kirk from Love and Hip Hop had a restaurant, I guess. But I'm trying to think of others. But Glass and Ron's, I was sad when that place closed. That shit was official. Old Lady Gang is cool. I wanted to almost disrespect it and say it's like this is it, but it's not that low. But like it's cool. I would say like it's a nice little black Applebee's. Like it's maybe a little bit better than that. And no shade at Applebee's. Applebee's, like I grew up on that. It was a family. Applebee's and TGI Fridays. It was like a family joint. Okay, Kirk and Rashida. But like
that's a good one. See what I'm saying? So many people.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm asking you because the original question was, can he afford because in my eyes, no one really can afford, unless you're LeBron, like some of the the Madonnas, you see her doing it, the Angelina Jolie's, but not very many celebrities can afford 10 kids. Think about how many celebrities go broke. Like at one point, remember when Snoop Dogg signed with like Master P, and he was like, "I'm dead broke." P gave me a nice little signing deal, and he's going to teach me how to do business. That's when Master P was in Fortune magazine and all that stuff even before him. Think about how he went broke and how long he had been rapping and on the radio and a household name.
Right.
Football players killing their wives, Ray Caruth, because they don't want to pay child support. Like, how many people can really afford to have 10 kids?
Yeah, like he's on that. I was making a joke when I was watching Sexy Red TV's live, and I said I think Cam Newton's trying to catch up to Nick Cannon, who probably has like 10 or 12 or something like that. But
Eddie Murphy has 10 kids, but you know that new Beverly Hills Cops came out, so that's what made me research it. So me and my wife, she never really seen it, so I was like, I got to get you to watch it. Like, you got to watch all of them. So we watched them all, started saying how good they were for back in the day, and then we started looking it up. The first Beverly Hills Cops was in 1986, and it grossed like 300 million box office week. We talk about 300 million a day and say someone did good. And he has 10 kids. So I think that's how he's able to afford it. Because you look at some of the people like Wesley Snipes,
right?
You know, went bankrupt. Evander Holyfield, the pro boxer.
True.
And I don't even think they got 10 kids. They might have 4 to 5.
I think Evander Holyfield has, let's see, Evander. How many children? But
I mean, deeper than that. It's deeper than the money. We can get deeper.
He's got 11.
I just want to start there.
Holyfield's got 11.
And look where he's at, bankrupt.
Right.
Name someone besides, like I said, name someone who has that many kids, probably besides that 3, and that it's okay. They're still doing okay for themselves.
That's a good point.
If anyone in the chat knows someone who has that many kids, please name them.
Are you talking about celebs or just regular people?
Celebs, regular people. Not so much regular people, because I can say a lot of regular people, like you see these shows, they get government help.
Yeah,
welfare and those type of things. You see those triplet shows on TLC. So TLC gives the money, and then on top of that, if that runs out, then okay, Elon Musk, a good one, but once again, richest man in the world.
Right. It depends on like their tax bracket, and I think how many people they're having kids with. Like, I think Elon must be he's an outlier because he's the richest man in the world. But like, let's just think about this. Who's doing okay and has more than 3 kids?
Even like Deion Sanders.
Kanye. Let's just say Kanye.
Okay. Is he do okay? So
well,
first, let's just start. Is he hasn't had kids that long. He's only got 5, so he's really only one over what traditional. A lot of people had 4 kids in the 90s, 3 to 4 kids. So he's not really well over traditional, and he makes a lot of money. And we can't even say he's successful yet, because so far he hasn't handled it well. Like getting caught getting BJs on a boat ain't really handling it well for your upbringing of your kids. Losing your company publicly and losing all these business endorsements in 1 or 2 weeks, that's not really doing well.
I don't think a lot of people might not understand. I'm a Kanye stan, so like I'm gonna be very biased.
Go ahead. I like Kanye music. I like it. I still jam the gospel album. I like it. I like his raunchy stuff too.
I think. Go ahead.
I like the one with Kim with her booty on the motorcycle.
Oh, that's bound to.
Yeah, I didn't start even listening to him until probably like after him and the Jay-Z album. So like I had to go back and listen to the Teddy Bear and all that to appreciate it later. But it was very shortly after that where he lost his mind, and then all the publicity he produced that he's not who he used to be.
That's a fact. He's not. He's definitely not. I'll say this as a Kanye fan, I saw him losing the Gap deal. I saw him losing the deal with Adidas. I saw it coming. He wanted to get out. He wants to get up out of these deals and own more of the royalties, own more of the percentages. Because I think at Adidas he was only getting like maybe like 10%, 15% or something like that tops. And I think he wanted more of the money, and they were just bucking back and saying, "No, we're not giving you shit. You're going to take what you can take." And Gap, they were not honoring his agreements, partially because Yeezy Gap was not doing that well. But he wants to He wants to, and I think he's got the talent that he's going to stand his stuff. It's going to take him a little bit, but I think he's going to stand up his Yeezy stuff on his own, and he's going to be keeping a lot more of the money or whatever the heck. But people want to look at it and say like, oh, he was crashing out. He lost. He sacrificed billions because he's going to try to make that in perpetuity and make more or whatever. That's my take. But like I said, I'm very biased. I'm a Kanye supporter. I know, and I'm not saying I stand by his crazy statements. I'm not. Like, I did not vote for Kanye. I would never vote for Kanye. But I think he's extremely talented, genius level of creativity for music. I think I think the fact that he's able to do the music and the clothes separately, I think that's kind of like he's I think he's got genius level creativity. I'll say that.
Okay. So are we in agreement as of now? Maybe something will come to us later, but that's too many kids for even a millionaire to afford.
Well, here's the thing. This is a good conversation. I think a lot of men aren't wired to want a stable of children. That's one. Like there are some people who got the money and they don't want to actually have that many kids. That's a lot of kids. But I think Cam Newton, I don't think he cared to not have that many kids. I mean, he might have always wanted to have that many kids. Nick Cannon too. Kanye could probably afford to have another 5 if he wanted to. I don't know if he wants to.
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
So what you're saying, these people who go bankrupt, it's not so much of the money they don't have. They're just bad decision makers, and they just so happen to be having a lot of kids.
It's a good little conversation. Like, I think part of it is that they're not good with money management. 2, they might not have a cash cow. Like Kanye has a cash cow in terms of his creativity. When he creates something that everybody wants, he made Adidas, like he was the biggest seller, I think, at Adidas. He was like 25% of their earnings, or don't quote me. I think it was like 25% of their earnings. And so he had the fuck you money and the fuck you clout to be able to say, hey, I'll just take if I just sit my shit in a warehouse, y'all going to be sitting on like 500 billion, or maybe like $1 billion of stock of product or whatever the fuck. A lot of people can't do that. So a lot of people, they maybe, in my opinion, just brilliant idiots right here. They invest in things badly. It fails. They don't really have a genius creativity or idea versus someone like a Jay-Z, someone like a Kanye. I'm trying to think of some others. So a lot of people in business or industry, they're not, like, to your point, they're not able to last because they might have earned some money, but they're living a very lavish lifestyle and they don't have money like Shaq. Shaq has got company deal up. You go into Office Depot, he's got chairs. He probably has printers. He's got pizzas. He's got this. So a lot of people don't have that marketability. They don't have that consistent income coming in.
Or just not the hustle to do that.
That's true. That too.
That's why I said the coach. I hate this idea. I think we've gotten away from things, kind of like we were saying, dates.
Yeah.
Kind of gotten away of traditional things. We've kind of gotten away where we feel like everyone who's successful is supposed to automatically turn their 10 million into $1 billion and be Jay-Z.
Correct.
So that's why I said like a coach, a nurse, just the easiest things, a teacher, something just to give yourself some foundation. Of course, I would want him to go invest, create black wealth, create like businesses, but I don't think that's just always possible.
Yeah, it's like, I think you've said on many, like just about every podcast, you'll say like men are builders. You specifically call yourself a builder. A lot of men are builders. Some men are just great doers, and they're able to provide for something to be built. Like I think in my family, my dad was the sole provider, but my mom used those resources and built the infrastructure that was the family on top with those resources, whatever the heck. And you're still a builder for producing that to be able to happen. But like you're saying, a lot of people don't have the hustle. You got that like spot on.
Okay. So yeah, I just think it's crazy. Accountability. I think he's a perfect example. I think he could tie into the whole passport bro narrative of, that's why so many of us black men are lost. Not necessarily athletes, but just the examples of our celebrities moving in that manner, not taking care of business, not being men first, not growing up, living a second childhood. You look at like Terrell Owens. I remember him coming on national TV crying, saying his dad lived across the street from him and he didn't even know her for years. And yet he turns around and does the exact same thing to his own children.
Who did that?
Terrell Owens.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, There's a lot of problems with it. It's like, one, the upbringing. Two, these people are coming into money very young of age. Three, they might not have the financial literacy, and like you said, like they might not have the hustle. So like they might have made the famous story is Adrian Peterson, star running back, and he was like had money troubles before he retired. That's
he
wow.
just filed bankrupt.
Wow.
And he's also the guy who beat his kid. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true. That was what started it. He lost a lot of deals. He lost.
His father was in prison his entire college career. I remember like watching that game live at a friend's house. It was like my senior year in high school, and seeing his dad and saying, "Damn, his dad looked cool. Like he looks like a young dad because he had been in prison. He swole just like AP." And that was like his last college football game ever when he got out of lockup.
Yeah.
And once again, the stories that stick with me. And then, like I said, then you got stories of him beating a kid. That just accountability in the Black community. And then, like my Raisins was saying, broken homes. Like the lady was saying in the video, you can't be in all those places at once.
Yeah, it's like I think
he literally plays Madden all day.
That's
all
true.
Day long. Like you can literally go to YouTube right now, look at his page. He's probably live right now on college football or Madden.
But I think the thing with Cam Newton is like when people talk about fuck you money, he's got fuck you money. So I think, like you said, like he's on Madden probably all day streaming on Twitch or whatever the heck.
So if you have that type of money, I feel like he doesn't. I feel like if he had that type of money, because he wants to be, he kisses Deion's ass. I want to talk about that a little bit too.
Okay.
But like right now, he really kisses Deion's ass a lot. And basically, it shows that he wants to be in that position that Deion Sanders is in. So if you had that type of money, you wouldn't have to kiss his ass to be in it. You would just be in it.
What do you mean? Like he's jealous of the clout that Deion's getting?
No, I don't think he's jealous. I think he tries to surround himself with Deion and backs everything Deion says so he can be put in an opportunity to get one of those coaching jobs or something. But he's kind of ruining his name. Like, this ain't a good look. This probably just ended it, kind of like Travel Wife was saying. I think chasing the fame, not wanting to leave the light so bad that now everything he wanted, he kind of flushed it down the toilet.
I think he's got a future. I think he's got a future in media as things are starting to move towards quote unquote new media where the players are standing up their own platforms. I love it.
What about T.O.? It ain't worked for him. And he's known as being a bad father. And he had to, I don't want to say for sure, but I know he's had money troubles, but he probably had to file bankruptcy too. That would be something I would have to check.
I feel like, and like I said, this is brilliant is territory. I'm not sure. The facts, no feeling, no facts, no feelings. All feelings.
Look at Warren Sapp. They're saying Cam Newton's probably not even going to be in the Hall of Fame just because of the way it shakes out, even though he's a great player. Because they say there's other great players who haven't made it. Warren Sapp is a Hall of Famer, but he's kind of in the same light. A lot of kids. He filed for bankruptcy. Yeah. And now look, Deion had to fight for him to get the job, and he's under. It's kind of embarrassing. He had to be in a coaching assistant.
You're kind of breaking
up. You're a Hall of Fame NFL player. You can only hire you under as a coaching assistant because of your past background, because of domestic violence.
You're breaking up a little bit. You sound like a robot.
All right, let me get off of this. One second.
No problem. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to mute you. It was sounding really loud and scratchy. But I mean, you brought up a good point. I just think everybody needs to go watch the 30 for 30 call on the topic broke. It's like it's a super sad 30 for 30 to watch, but it's like it shows you how and why people in the professional athletes are going broke. The lack of financial literacy, the having to support multiple households, not only your parents, but your sisters, your brother, your cousins, friends, other and beyond, whatever. It's a lot. Failed businesses, you're getting people accountants swindling your money, all kinds of stuff. So it's just like, yeah, I think it all starts with like a lifestyle that they couldn't afford to maintain. You hear about that story of like Allen Iverson, how if it weren't for his lawyer, he would be broke, but his lawyer tucked some money back so he could because he saw him crashing out.
Yeah, his deal that he can't touch till he hits 50. his shoe deal with Reebok. So it's like 50 million or something like that. Half of it's already going to his wife because of the divorce. But basically, he can't touch it until 50. So they put it in a trust. So, you know, if he messes up his money, which is he did, he has something else to live off of.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Can someone be in their kid's life? Can someone be in a household when you have 3 different baby mothers and that many kids? Is there enough time in the day to be in all their lives and live
This is a good
life?
conversation. I want us to revisit this too on the next men's panel. The answer, I think, is no, and beyond just the no, I don't think those men who are in those situations give a fuck. They're just like, these children are my legacy. Fuck whether I'm able to be there for them. I'm able to provide for them. They good. I don't know. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, OB. Because I think every child has different needs, and 2, they all, like the woman was saying, they all want to have a 2-parent home. And people like Cam are robbing them of that. Is he doing a good job of probably providing for them? Maybe, we don't know, but they all are robbed of that experience. And maybe he looks at it. I can't even say that about Cam, because Cam grew up in a 2-parent household. I can't even say that he didn't.
Oh, you touching on something. You know, I did a lot of research on that. I was going to email it to you. And that was kind of interesting take too, because I keep hearing the narrative is both parents in the house. So I find that interesting that you said this is how he acts, but yet both parents are in the house.
He had a traditional household.
One of the things that I came to realize after doing a little research is the education of the parents, not even the money, because money comes and goes. A good person is Jaylen Brown to look at. So I read about him. Jaylen Brown, black man, dark-skinned black man, and I want to make sure I put that emphasis because there's so much bias when you're black-blue, and he's almost black-blue.
The Celtic?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had the largest NBA contract before his teammate just surpassed him. He grew up in a single-parent home. Yet his freshman year, he was already taking master courses. He went to USC Berkeley, so which is not just the easiest school to get into. He maintained a 4.0 GPA throughout his entire freshman year.
Wow.
He's the youngest person to ever give a lecture at Harvard.
Wow.
He has internships for NASA, and he's already given a TED Talk. And he comes from a single parent home. Yeah. But the key that I noticed is his mother. She's educated herself. His mother has a bachelor's degree from Michigan University. I don't remember. I think it was like some type of science degree. And then she has her master's for something. It looks like a degree that she probably did online just because she's busy now. And that's an MBA. So she has a science degree and an MBA.
That's awesome.
He used no agent when he was drafted into the NBA because he just talked to Isaiah Thomas and them and realized basically you're going to get paid based off what you did. You did enough numbers that they got to draft you in this round. And if you're drafted in this round, you're going to get this anyways. So just really smart dude. So is it really, so do we need to quit? I feel like, no, I'm not going to say do we. I'm going to say I feel like, yes, having a 2-parent home is good, but you got to look at the effects. Like, you know, how does it affect you if your dad smokes weed? What does that do to a kid? What about if they're arguing all the time, but they're just doing it to stay together thinking that it's better for you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I read a research paper on it. They actually did one like that, one study, and they did it with kids when they were 8 and followed back up with them when they were 48. So it was a 40-year thing of research. And that's when I read it, that's kind of what I took away with it. It's education attainment. Now, both parents are always great, but if they're not, you know, on track to guide you, then it really doesn't do any good. Something else I looked at is Barack Obama. He came up when I typed in successful people raised by a single parent. But after I did my research, Barack Obama was raised by his grandparents.
Facts.
From the age of like 8, I believe. It was either 8 or 10.
Yep.
His grandmother was a banker, and his grandfather was a salesman. It didn't say anything about his grandmother having education, but I think what propelled him once again, his mother had a PhD. Yeah, she remarried a man in Indonesia, which is why he was raised by his grandparents, because she stayed with her husband and had a new kid with the new husband. Um, and his father had a master's degree from Harvard. So for him going to Harvard, it was a little bit easier for him to see because his dad had already accomplished that.
Was this the not the non-biological dad?
No, his biological dad. So his mother was already married when she met his biological dad. She got married at 18, and I guess she met, Barack's dad in college, broke it off with that husband, and married Barack's dad, who was one of the first African students to come here as like the exchange program, exchange student. So he has a bachelor's degree from Hawaii University, and the mother has a bachelor's degree from Hawaii University.
Mm.
And then the father went back to Africa, started a new family because their marriage only lasted like 3 years. And then he came back later and got his degree, went to Harvard, and that's where he obtained his master's degree. He was trying to do his doctorate's degree, but they kicked him out due to financial reasons. And they were basically trying to say it looked like he was married to more than one woman.
Wow.
And then when he went back to Africa, a big government official ended up getting assassinated, and they tried to say Barack's dad did it.
Wow.
So he was basically blackmailed in the community where he couldn't find work.
Excommunicado. He got excommunicated. Wow.
Yeah. So his father ended up dying with no legs. He died in a car crash. He lost his legs in a car crash and had another car crash and died. And he was, I think, he was either 45 or 35. It was pretty young. But the point is, even though his parents weren't in his life, they both had that education. So, I mean, just being able to talk to your parents here or there, have your grandparents say that they know your dad has a bachelor's degree and he went to Harvard. Imagine the confidence that instills. And knowing that your mother already had a doctorate's degree.
Yeah. This is why I say, like, the passport bros are, like, extreme idiots for saying, we don't care about your degrees. It's not just the passport bros. It's the manosphere, red pill proper. We don't care about your degrees. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, it is one of the, I'm not saying it's the only gift that keeps on giving. It is definitely a gift that keeps on giving to have a spouse that's highly educated or highly intelligent. Yeah. To not have that, that is really bad. I mean,
even Michael Phelps, white guy, same thing, single mother. But no one really talks about that as much. He's raised by a single parent.
Kanye too.
The key fact is his mother has a master's degree.
Kanye too.
She's on the board of directors in her state on an educational board. She is a school principal.
Right.
Like you said, Kanye West's mother, educated. Single mother, but educated. So I don't think the goal should be for women to just go out here and have kids and just say, I don't give a damn about the fathers and making it work. But I'm just saying it seems to be a deterrent to keep your kid on the right track if you educate yourself so you can instill the right values in your kid and how their perception will be on education.
I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see, though, because you got people like Ebony K. Williams, who's like probably a millionaire, and she's going to just go it alone and probably try to find a father on the back end. And I think there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, I don't think that's what she would love to do, but because of biology, she probably had to do.
Okay.
But I liked your take about, like, listen, everybody wants single family. Everybody wants 2-parent households. But when a lot of these people who are marching for this stuff, the red pillars, the alt-right, the what do they call it? The far right, the alt-right, they don't think about, like you said, the 2-parent households where one person is dysfunctional, or two people are dysfunctional together, or one person is just bringing the family down. So again, these are the same dudes who discourage stepfathers. Well, that's a perfect situation in a dysfunctional home. That could be a perfect situation, or it could be a better situation. But they don't want to think about it like that. They just think about, there's nothing wrong with a 2-parent household. It's definitely better than all single parent households. I don't know.
You look at Noah Lyles, the young gentleman who's been holding it down for America in the running, single parent home. But once again, his mother has a master's degree. She's educated. Yeah, just something I noticed, something to put on people's minds. So a lot of times, kind of like you said, Cam Newton came from both parents. Look at his mind frame. It's still messed up. So what is being preached in the home?
So what is your take on Cam Newton and the kids? Why do you think why do you think men want that? Why do you think he wants that? Why do you
I
think
don't think he wants that. I think he just can't control himself.
Okay.
I just think he can't control himself. He likes women. He likes having fun.
Okay.
He's kind of had to move as an adult since a kid to get to where he's at, and now he want to let his hair down. I guess too much of anything is a bad thing. You know, being totally 100% focused and no outlet. Now it's coming out, and he's like someone trying to catch up for the last 15 years that he's missing. It's just this is what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably like very hard when you're someone who's got fuck you money so early in life to hear the word no and to hear for any different context. It's like no, like probably no longer exists to those people in their mind state of like, no, I got like 100 million in the bank. Why should I not? And it'd be interesting to see like does Cam Newton have regrets of like, hey, because like he's like you said, he clearly, probably doesn't have a not very sexually disciplined, but I think I need to pull up receipts on Cam Newton. I think he's like had a woman and had a family unit there, and then maybe cheated or maybe broke it off and then started like a new family with someone else. So it's like, I don't know, but it's like more men like him. I wish they would maybe speak up and explain why they chose to go in the direction that they went to.
Why do you think Terrell Owens isn't reaching out to him, saying, "Hey, man, I'm bankrupt now. No team wanted to pick me back up. I was on national TV crying because I didn't get to see my father be different from me. Because to him, he's older. Terrell's in his 40s, damn near 50s, and Cam's only 35. Where's the accountability? Where's the brotherhood?"
Yeah.
Let me ask you something else, another topic that I found
it.
interesting. How do you feel about Deion Sanders, just as far as accountability is and what he's doing? Do you think he's good for the black community?
Go deep. Go a little deeper. Like what?
So recently, an article came out and it's saying players are gambling in the locker room. Guns are being brought in the locker room.
Oh boy.
He's starting not to want to answer interviews. Media starting to turn against him. He's telling people in the media, "I'm not answering any of your questions. You know what you did." He's kind of mad about his son being brought up. A lot of people forget I'm in Dallas, so I don't forget. My first apartment was in Frisco, Texas.
He's losing a lot
So
of
I used to see his son during the time when they had their reality show. I would see his son on a brand new reality show. And the next day I would see him and his little crew who was at the reality show just hanging out at the mall. Teenagers being teenagers, sitting on the ATM, no shopping bags, just normal kid stuff. You know what I mean? Just out having a good time. You wouldn't even know it was Deion Kid unless you were just in tune and watching like that. So in Dallas, he had a school like LeBron did. It just failed. He opened his own school as well, and then it had different things.
I forget what it was called, but I do remember that.
He had clubs here in Dallas, prime time. Like I remember my mom talking about prime time 21, going to that club. Like I don't have just the best, but I know I've heard her talking about that when I was, sixth grade, fifth grade, fourth grade. Like I remember that.
I will say to this, because I need to pull the receipts, like you got the receipts on him. I want Deion to be successful, man. I really do. Like it was a heartwarming story last season what he did in Colorado, even though it fell flat. For him to do that in the first year with like limited resources, just bootstrapping it. I want him to be successful. Like is he smug? Is he arrogant? Absolutely. Deion Sanders.
Okay.
But I think that
so why do you think he's good for the community? Because that was my first question. So now you're telling me he's good. He's smug, but overall you think he's good and you want to see him be successful. Can you tell me why?
I don't know if I would say he's good, but I'm saying I think that we need people to take risks. Like he might be the only person that's doing what he's doing.
So you don't think that? Okay, so once again, I'm in this area.
Yeah.
So Torrey Hunter, professional baseball player, great career, maybe a Hall of Famer. If not, he's going to be borderline not making it. Was never great, had good years, but just he was the last of the dying breed of that generation of black men played baseball, had like a 15-year career. He also played in Prosper, where Deion lives at. He has his ranch home out there with the cows and all that good stuff. Father Torrey probably made the same amount of money. I wouldn't say more because Deion played baseball and football, and he had endorsements that baseball players don't have. But Torrey had a 15-year career in baseball where they just get paid more. So they probably made about the same amount of money. Torrey Hunter's son got called for rape by a white lady, a white girl, when he was in high school. He had multiple football scholarships, his son. Lost all his football scholarships, and it comes back to the fact that he didn't even do it. No charges. Charges dropped.
Okay.
So my point is, how did Deion Sanders' son get a scholarship, but yet he has a lawsuit for $15 million for beating up a school official?
Which kid?
So Shador is the quarterback. So whichever one, I can't think of his name. Shiloh, maybe is his name. The safety. Yeah. So he has a $15 million lawsuit.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
He basically, he didn't show up to court. And basically the judge, like, you think it's a game? Well, then I'll just give you whatever. You know, you don't show up to court. You don't take it serious. This is what you owe. Deion them recently just tried to get them to basically change that. But they were like, nope, we ain't changing it. He still owes $15 million. So, like, I watched the video the other day because this has been interesting to me with Deion. So someone, his kids gave him a watch. He made a joke about it. What is this watch for? Blah, blah, blah. Who gave it to me? So the oldest son, who has the $15 million lawsuit, he like, well, it ain't me. Well, you know, if I say I gave it to you, then people coming after that. He was referring to that lawsuit because it's been all in the paper saying, hey, this guy ain't giving me my money. He owes $15 million, but they riding around in Phantoms and Bentleys and getting college endorsements. Where's my money? So the younger boy was laughing, or the oldest son was laughing, Shiloh, who beat up the school official, saying, now, you know, if I tell you I gave it to you on camera, who coming for it? Then people gonna come for that watch because it was an AP watch.
Wow. See, I'm reading something about Shiloh Sanders has filed bankruptcy.
Yeah, he had, because they want that 15 mil.
Yeah. I mean, so you're saying like the original question was like, how did he get a spot on the
how did he get a job? How did he get a scholarship?
Money
Where did
talks.
he get a scholarship to? Torrey Hunter's rich, and his son, his case was dismissed, and he still lost all his football scholarships. So how did Deion's son get a scholarship, and who did he get a scholarship to?
So wait, we have to roll that back. Is Torrey Hunter a coach at a college?
No, but he's a baseball player who played 15 years of big league baseball. So he's just as paid as Deion. Like I said, Deion got paid less than him in football, but Deion also has crazy endorsements because he knew how to sell himself. So I'm going to say they made about the same amount of money over their careers. That's 15 years of baseball money.
That's true. But I think it maybe begs a question of like power. Deion Sanders is extremely powerful. And that's why I say like I want him to be successful, because it's like we ultimately want to see more black coaches in football. You know, at least I do. I want to see more black coaches. To see like people at in the NFL like Eric Bieniemy. I don't even think he's a head coach. I think he's still like the offensive coach of the Commanders or something like that. I don't think he's the head coach.
So let me ask you this: why not Eddie George? Eddie George is clean cut. He married an R&B singer who had a good career.
That's true.
Never caught up in anything off the field that I heard of. Never any domestic violence, get caught drinking and driving. Had a good long 12, 13-year career. And he's a coach right now in Tennessee. Why is no one talking about him?
That's a good point.
I feel like they always, why do we always find the worst to represent us as a whole? Why do the people in power never choose the people who would be good representation of us? Because the point that I'm trying to make to you is that it's not far of a stretch to say Deion really only coached because if he didn't coach us, well, for one, I think he coached because who doesn't want to coach their kids and put them in the best opportunity? He's been coaching them since Little League around here in this city. Sure. But at the same point in time, if he didn't coach, I don't know if that oldest son would have got a scholarship because he gave him the scholarship. And then they hid this. I'm in Dallas. I never heard about this. This is just now coming out. Like 6 months ago that his son beat up a school official. Wow. So all this was hidden. And then my thing is, how good is it for the community when we're trying to go in the right direction and teach the youth something different, and your son up here flashing AP $20,000 watches and Rolls Royce Phantoms? Is that really the
I
direction
mean,
we want to go to? Is
let's
that
let's
some? Is
let's talk
that
about
some?
this.
You know what I'm saying? Behavior. I don't need to say the word.
Let's talk about this. That's a good conversation. I think a lot. Let me see.
Is that passport bro behavior? Is that lack of accountability? Is
Um,
that us following behind the blind, the old men misguiding the young men? Literally, the guy's literally in the school with them.
there's a lot to your point. There's a lot to unpack with the Deion Sanders family, but I have no problem with these. I'm happy that these college kids are getting paid. First of all, they should have been getting paid a long time ago. Well, if they want to drive Phantoms with their money, that's on them.
Why? Why is that okay though? Why is it even smart? In the days when rappers get blasted in a club for taking that Phantom to the club, why would you put a college kid with a bunch of hungry other, like, think about Maurice Claret. He was out robbing corner stores after winning Heisman trophies. Like they said, guns are already being reported and shooting dice in the locker room. I've
But
grown up around athletes, and I know, like, the athlete I know, you can Google him in Texas. I guess I won't say his name, but like when I Google him, the first thing that comes up is he came there as a freshman, protecting the quarterback, ready to fight. Like, I knew this dude in high school, fastest kid in the state of Texas, carried a pistol when we were in high school. So
yeah,
this, like, isn't new behavior. So my whole point is, like, you kind of setting your kid up to lose their life. Like, a lot of those kids are hungry on that college campus, and they thugs.
okay. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it's a good point. So what would let me flip it back to you. So with them we're earning millions and tens of millions, maybe at some point hundreds of millions in college for these nil deals, what do you think they should be doing with it? Just investing it?
I think you can live good, but I think there's different ways to live good. I
Because
mean,
these,
he doesn't
yeah,
even have to drive to school. If you have enough for a Phantom, you can get a driver to just drop you off at school. You ain't even got to drive a car. You can go get a nice pickup truck that's $60,000. That's a lot less low key and a lot less flashy and attention, but still gonna pull. You know what I mean?
but don't the NFL players who make this kind of money do the same thing?
Yeah, but everyone hasn't. Like
What?
the brokest dude on the team is someone who's on a 2-3 day contract, and for
Okay,
that
good
2-3
point.
days they just walked away with maybe 10K, literally after taxes or before taxes. So they walking away with 6K in 1 week from a 3 day contract. So at
Good
least for
point.
that week they're good. Mike Bibby just released a video talking about, he's not going to say the name, but basically he was helping out a younger teammate doing his NBA career. He was known to walk away with money, and basically one of his teammates robbed him because he knew he kept 5 to 10 stacks in his backpack.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say this because like you got these are young kids, and sure, in this situation, Shador's got his dad and a family probably unit like very near close by, but some of these kids are going to just be Heisman or just like best player on the team, and they're going to be earning tens of millions of dollars. They now are in the Cam Newton fuck you money type of territory. They're not going to be, hey, let me just be humble with it. They're not going to be
You're
Carson
not
Palmer.
being humble. You just being you. It's a different type of rich. You got
Yeah,
real money now.
yeah.
They
They
said that one of those boys got six. I think they saying Shador Deion's son got 6 cars.
yeah. So
Old
that's what's
boy
going to
bought
happen.
his Travis has bought his mother a house, and that's something that I think is going to come up. He's another one. He probably online right now if you Google him. Playing NCAA. Who is doing his homework? I typed it in the message. He didn't
Good
respond.
point. Good point.
I said, who is doing your homework?
Good point.
With
We already
all the
know.
media obligations you have,
I
you
think
know you're going to the NFL next year, so you want to walk in there and be your best.
right.
You got a game this weekend. You got homework. You got 15-page papers to write. Then you got those tests of A, B, C, D that you need to be studying for. Then you got the woman of your dreams in this house that lives with you, doing what young people do. How do you have time to do all this and do your homework, but you're on live going gaming? You think someone ain't gonna be mad at that in a position of power
I
and
mean,
go start asking these questions? When are you doing your homework?
I mean,
You don't think?
OB. I think we already know the answer to that. These a lot. No judgment. Some of these people. I'm not going to try to say all jocks are doing that. but a lot of them, they find a way. They're not there for the education.
California, a thing just came out. If you look it up, some cops in California, they got charges pressed against them. Of course, they're suspended or whatever. Basically, they were paying someone to do their classes online to get them a bachelor's degree because cops get paid more when they have a bachelor's degree. And someone came out and leaked it and said, hey, it's not them doing their homework. So now all that money you basically stole from the government. We've gave you a higher salary based upon this bachelor's degree. We've given you incentives that probably you only received if you had the degree as well as the job. I mean, something to think about. But my thing is how it correlates to this channel: black man and accountability.
Oh, let's drill in that because I know you love accountability. What's wrong? So where's the lack of accountability when?
Why do we praise the worst? I don't think Deion's the best. I don't think Deion's the man to represent us, brother.
He fair enough. He might not be the man to represent us, but I don't want to see. To your point, Eddie George is the guy. There's a guy Grambling. There's I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. There was a guy who was coaching Johnny Manziel. There's others. Romeo Crennel. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm not saying that he is the one, but I want to see all of them succeed. I don't want to see Deion fail. I want to see Deion succeed, and maybe there needs to be more accountability within his organization. Maybe he has blind spots. Maybe he's making compromises for success or whatever the heck, and he shouldn't do it. But I want to see all these black coaches succeed. I want to see more black coaches at the NFL level.
Yeah, but where's the accountability? You're telling me I want them to succeed.
Okay.
But I want the accountability so we can see. And that's what I'm saying. Is this why black men fail? Something else I looked up this week. So marriage, as I looked it up and I was doing the research on this whole single parent home thing, one of the things that popped out to me is marriage rate. Latin families, African Americans only, I think it was like 25% are married. So they know how to work together as a team. Whites it was kind of varied on different websites. So I've seen anywhere between 60 to 75% marriage rate.
Yeah.
Given on different times of the study. Some were 18, some were 2022. Some of them just represented it a little bit differently. And then Hispanics were at about 50%. And then, remember I brought up that statistic that I showed that anybody can go look up that their income is higher than ours.
Hispanics?
So how are we? Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Their average household income is higher than in a black home.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, so when are we going to start the accountability? Everyone's praising. We're praising the worst right now. We're praising Mr. Flashy Watch. Kids been born with money, get 6 cars. Basically, they living like rappers. Shador is rapping now at this point.
Yep, that's true. That's true. So is Jaylen Brown. He just put out a new song with who is that dude? I forget his name. Kendrick Lamar's one of his label mates. But to your point,
Jaylen made his name though. That dude's the youngest person to ever give a lecture at Harvard. I don't want that to go to the wayside.
That's true.
And he's from a single parent household. So every time I hear someone say that now, is he from a single parent household? I need some data behind this. What makes it better for two?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just making.
Barack had no parents. He was raised by grandparents.
I thought he was raised by a combination of grandparents and mom.
No, his mother was remarried. Google it. His mother was remarried to an Indonesian man. Wow. She lived in Indonesia.
Okay, I gotta do my homework because I did see the story of Barack and Michelle, how they got together, but they must have I don't think they talked about that kind of stuff. But let's just say this: there needs to be a culture shift, and this is getting to a good conversation. OB, it's like I was thinking about, let's just say, but specifically black men in the manosphere, they have all these grandiose ideas of how to fix the community, but they don't really have answers, though. They have ideas, but it's like there needs to be this. They're very extremely passionate about the culture. They want to change the culture. They're going to other countries just because they think they have better cultures, but they're not going to do shit to. They're not doing shit. They themselves aren't doing shit to elevate those cultures. They're just going to try to leech off those cultures. But to your point, to achieve what you're trying to do, it's going to take manpower. It's going to take people actually shifting and and seeing those numbers change. Those numbers aren't going to just change by osmosis. Like you have to actually make change. You have to.
So how does the AP watch make us? The main thing is we don't work together. That's why Latin families have more income than we do. We all know we've been here longer. We all know it was more of us who fought in World War I and World War II. We all know slaves were fighting, before we were free, just for them as individuals to be free. I'm talking about Boston Tea Party days.
Well, I'll say this to the point of the working together. I know people they slam us on this channel for it. To your point, they're married higher, and marriage, when done right, sometimes it's more cost effective. It's more financially beneficial to do so than just doing it by yourself. I think that's part of a factor too. Is some of these communities that are married at higher rates, that's going to help them. That's going to help elevate the household income, I guess.
Right. It's two incomes. It's always, just same thing with just single parent homes. Why it's good not to be a single parent home. Like I said, the education, I'm not saying go out here and long as you're educated, go have a kid and don't try to make it a 2-parent home. I'm just saying it kind of curves that. You could, it betters the odds of your kid turning out better in the future.
So who said that brought up a great point? Like there's this notion that other racial groups or demographics are socialized to prioritize marriage. Let's see. I was hating on white man. Hold on. I said the other groups are socialized. I personally, like I said, people are gonna bang on me for this, but like I think this is a black man problem. Like I don't think when the manosphere likes to say black women aren't raised to be wives. Bullshit. It is low effort dudes. It is elder statesmen who are passing down these Neanderthal beliefs of dating, and hey, you need to sow your wild oats, and hey, you need to you don't need to get married. The manosphere wants to blame baby mama culture on women. In my opinion, I think it's more of a man problem, because I'm trying to figure out what angle to go into that with. It's just,
I don't even think, even if they want to go with that narrative, my thing is most of them like to use the Bible. I've been seeing that a lot to kind of prove their point, or they're cherry picking what they want to use out of the Bible to get what they want, not following the rest of it. Let me say that. But if the man, I think one thing that even most women agree with, it's not that it is 50-50, but man, lead the home. Still at 50-50, but lead the home. My wife's a lot smarter than me at a lot of things, but she still allows me to lead, but that doesn't mean that she's not contributing just as much. I make sure I go out of my way to make sure I'm listening and not having that dumb mind frame, that old man mind frame. I'm the man and everything I say is right. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm willing to even go, even though I don't believe it, I'm willing to even go with their dumb ass saying that black women aren't meant to be married, which, okay, but what about if she comes from a home with the father? So then that doesn't make sense. But let's just play devil advocates and say she didn't. Isn't it kind of our responsibility to have their back and to kind of help them as they help us? Because a lot of us aren't meant to be husbands. I know I've grown into who I am. I wouldn't say out of high school I knew it. I was not anywhere near who I am today.
So the statement you said, something like the manosphere or other people on social media will say black women. How'd you say it? Like black women aren't raised to be wives or something? Something that
if they're not, men aren't either, is my point. But I'm saying if men are the head of the household, then isn't it your job to help lead? That's kind of like men like to talk about women's way. I'm big on that. Well, okay, well, why didn't you go out? Did you go jogging with her? Did you go walking with her? Have you worked out with her? That's what I mean by lead. I'm not necessarily saying what you say is right. What I'm just saying is encourage those positive things. If you see some things are right and you're a man, like you ain't man enough to just kind of stand up and say, this ain't the route we want to go. This is where this route's gonna go. Let me give you some examples. Let me maybe show you an uncle and aunt who did it this way and where it went, and show you this aunt and uncle and how they did it the opposite way and where it went. Like, isn't that our business to lead like that? And then when it comes to that, why I brought up the Deion situation, the accountability. When are we going to start being accountable? When are we going to start building things? And I wanted to lead that into a different conversation. I know you brought up buying Bevel, black business, supporting black business. Do you know anyone who's ever worked just for like what black businesses do you know people who work for? Like just big stuff. Because my thing is, I bought a lot of liquor saying I'm supporting black businesses. I don't know anybody who's actually worked at a distribution factory where this liquor is being even distributed through. Does it just on the job side? I don't know anyone who works for Beyonce shampoo. I don't know any scientists she's hired. Title Music, I had that for years because Jay-Z owned it. Even when it wasn't even the best, I kept it because I wanted to support black music.
I did too.
But I don't know anyone who's really works there. And I'm not saying they're wrong, and I'm not saying they
It wasn't
are.
very
I'm just
black.
saying,
It wasn't extremely black there.
right. What I'm saying is, I think we need to start getting to the point of being practical. Like, I'm not saying they're not creating black businesses. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying a tire shop, that's practical. $100,000, you could open a good tire shop. We see a lot of Latin tire shops. So many of these NFL players have that money to just blow. Like, why aren't we seeing these type of things? Things that I can actually touch, feel, that I can say, my cousin works there. My brother works there.
This is the Dame Dash. This is the Dame Dash. This is what Dame. I don't know if you saw the classic Dame Dash episode on Breakfast Club. Did you see that?
No, educate me.
Oh, you didn't see that shit. Okay. So he came on the Breakfast Club, and we might as well watch it. It might be worth watching it a little bit. You know what? Matter of fact, let's do another little show and tell on this. This is a classic. Everybody's got to see this. It was divisive. It was very divisive. I want your take after we watch it just a little bit.
Okay. Why can't he stunt like that? Imagine if Shador was like, I see Nipsey Nib talking about he was doing this, things of getting kids in stem cell. I'm about to build a building. Instead of this AP watch, I'm going to put this AP watch or my brother AP watch, and we're going to go buy a building, get some stem cell research going up in here. What about if he did that with the cash? What about if he just got a Range Rover and that other 100,000 went and started a business?
Who specifically?
Just like Shador, Dia and them kids. Like, that's what I said. You were saying, well, they got this money and, they deserve to stunt. And I said, I'm not saying get your stunt on. I'm saying upgrade it. Can we get past the big chains? You still showing watches. Can we get past the watches?
I agree with this.
Can we elevate? I'm not saying nothing was wrong with their times. I'm just saying over time, I think we're supposed to be getting better. Can we elevate?
Let's watch this Dame Dash and then let's talk about that. Fair use.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Is it a way for you to change the volume? It is hard to hear.
Oh,
I had
my bad.
Headphones in and I could hear.
Shit. I was wondering about that.
Yeah. Earlier, I could hear the other one because I had my headphones in, but now I got mine out. I'm having trouble hearing, and other people are saying it as well.
Crap.
Is it maybe because, I don't know, the headphones, the mic? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. Like, I got it. I see it's playing through like I think it's playing through my Mac Mini. I think the sound sounds good on the replay, but it's to your point. Like it's probably sounded. I was wondering, like, if I'm like, could y'all hear it? I wanted to ask you, but
okay.
I can barely hear it myself. It's not coming through my headphones. It's coming through, I think, my Mac Mini. Let me see. How do we fix this? Let me see. Let me try. Let me play and see where it's coming from again. Matter of fact, hold up. Let me see if I got volume on this. Let me back out of the share real quick and see if I can turn up something on my Mac.
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on. Thanks for bringing it up, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How do I get the sound up?
Yeah, who was saying, did you see how he treated his kid on that show, on the Growing Up Hip Hop? That was definitely, I did watch a couple of episodes. One of my favorite things that made me think from that series is when Angela Simmons told him, just because we're rich don't mean we're going through something. Because he always said, well, I'm from the hood. So this is why what I'm saying, y'all kids don't know pain. And she said, just because people have something don't mean they're not going through something. And I love that. She really made me reflect when she said that. Like, so can you please quit saying I'm not going through something just because who my parents are? And I think that's so true.
Okay. Let me try again. Like I'm changing back to my audio controller. It was going through my Mac Mini speakers. Let's see. Let's check. Where is? Okay, let me try the share again. Share screen. Okay, we're back.
So what do you think about that? As you look, and it might be hard for you to do that and think, but just, kind of keep it in the back. I want to hear your thoughts before we get off of here. What is your thoughts? Like, could they have used that money to build a building and still probably made plenty of articles, probably made TMZ saying, hey, we use this $200 to start a car wash because we love cars, the electronic car wash, and provided some jobs. I'm sure you could franchise off one of those really good ones for maybe $300,000. And if you lose it, who does it care? That car is going to devalue. It costs $200.
So who are you talking about in terms of like building a car wash?
I'm saying all people in general, not just them. But since I was talking about Deion, I'm saying his kids. That car probably costs $250,000.
I see what you're saying.
You can start a franchise, CC's Pizza or something like that, for probably anywhere from up to $500,000 to $250,000 to $500,000. Why not do something like that? Or Jiffy Lube, franchise off someone like them. Or like I said, you like cars, go start a car wash in the city of Boulder, Colorado. There's a lot of things that he could do and still get that limelight and help his community and show the new generation that we're going to do differently. That my dad is who he is, and my dad had the flashy chains, and I still like my chain, but this is more important.
Okay.
Where's the J.R. Smith at? J.R. Smith retired from the NBA, started playing the golf, went to a black college, joined the golf team, openly admitted. There's plenty of videos we can find on that of him saying it was stupid. He wished he wouldn't have did those nights, or he went out and spent $60,000 in a strip club. Now he sees it's dumb. Why haven't they went and visited that college and told Dia and them kids, do something different with it, man? That's not the route.
Okay, let's see. I get it. I mean, it's a good idea. Give me one second. Let's try this.
It's still stunting. I'm sure that they'll get a lot more notoriety for it in the hood. That's why people talk about Nipsey Hussle so much. He built something that people could touch, something people could feel. And all it was, what he buy? He bought some buildings that probably none of them was more than 100, 200,000. Small businesses, a print t-shirt business, weed shops in the neighborhood, things you can touch and feel, things you can really employ people at. A restaurant, mom and pop chicken spot.
Everybody's not necessarily a builder. I see what you're saying though. Let me know if the audio is different. Let's see.
Talking about, you name one of them that put their own dough up. A boss, your own.
Now we can hear it.
Good.
Now we can hear it.
Good. This is getting good. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all holding me accountable on that audio. It was trash. Okay, let's go. Let's start from the top. Fair use.
Talking about, you name one of them that put their own dough up. A boss, you're only the boss if you put up your own money. Oops. If you don't put up your own money, I don't care how much somebody gives you, you're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours. So how much money can you get paid to not? There's no money in this world for someone to pay me so they could call me, so I could call them a boss. That's like calling somebody daddy. How can a man call another man, yo, that's my boss? We don't do that.
I mean, everybody at some point has to have a boss, right?
No, not in Harlem. Oh, okay. Put it like this.
Because you're somebody's boss.
No, I'm not somebody's boss. I'm. When I was in the street, someone wasn't your boss. They gave you an opportunity.
Okay.
They gave you some work. You go make it, and then you bring it back. You can go buy your own work. You do whatever you want. It's called consignment.
So why this can't be all work? This corporate America, we could be using
you don't
this.
own it.
But
I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. Question. Let me answer your question. Can you give it to your son?
I give what to my son?
Whatever you
shares
want
of this company, I absolutely positively can.
How?
Right, because I own shares of this company.
You bought them?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, can your son eat? Is this yours to give the whole company
this
to your
company? Is not my son's. No,
exactly.
It's not mine. But I own
wait, stop. Listen. That's not my question. If your son needs a job here, can you give it to him? No.
No.
If your son needs to get some money out the bank from here, some cash flow, can he get it?
Fair use only.
No.
All right. You don't own this.
But I can take the money from here to invest in myself.
No, it's not yours. I'm not going to fight for something I don't own. Men don't do that. I don't fight for other niggas. I fight for me. I'm not a doula. I'm not going to build somebody else's company and then take shares so my son can go that.
But I'm not.
No, listen. What I'm saying.
But what about taking the money?
You come to work every day.
The money from Def Jam.
I didn't take. Stop. Don't say. You're speaking my business and you don't know what you're talking about. I ain't take no money from Def Jam. What you talking about?
I mean they cut you a check.
No, they didn't cut me a check. We had a formula based on performance, and they calculated, and we got paid.
That's
and they
us.
Stop. That's not us.
That's what we doing.
No. We listen. Before we had Rockefeller. We put up our own money for Rockefeller, right?
Okay.
Then we sold half of it. We became partners. So that means no one gave us anything. We were 50-50 partners. We built something and sold it. That doesn't mean you work for somebody. See, they let you believe that. So then what happened was based on a formula. You know what a formula is? It was profit times a certain number. So if you make this much profit times 7, that's how much your number is.
Okay.
Based on that formula, they bought the rest. That's it. That's not nobody giving me money. I never worked for them. I put up way more money than Def Jam put up. Me, Biggs, and Jay put way more money up into Def Jam. I mean, rather into Rockefeller than Def Jam. All they did was collect our money. So here, listen to me.
I'm working because I enjoy.
Why don't you listen?
I'm working for free.
Who could work? Would you ever enjoy being a slave?
I'm not. It's not a slave. This is what I enjoy.
I don't think this is slavery, Dave.
Do you have to come to work today? Do you have a choice? Do you have to ask somebody when you have to? Yes, you do.
I don't.
Or you're fired. Can somebody tell you you're fired?
Don't.
Can somebody tell you you're fired? Yes or no?
Can
Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. And that's priceless to me.
But I'm here because I
don't care. You enjoy having a man be able to tell you you're fired?
But you
enjoy. Okay, let me ask you a question. So you're being selfish. Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you could pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think? Yeah, all right, but don't you have to wake up at 4 in the morning?
Let's talk about it a little, Chris.
Okay, let's do it.
So that kind of goes back to what I said, and maybe now you got the volume right. We can replay that Cam Newton. That's what I was saying.
Let's do it.
Why aren't you taking your kids to school, man? You on the game? I promise you, if you Google it right now, we're gonna look it up. I want you to look and see. He's probably gaming right now. Him and Travis Hunter.
He's got fucking money. I've been saying that. Let's look at some of these comments. Hold up. Let me check some of these.
And I just wanted to say, so who said that was saying, isn't this food behind on some money as we speak? So as I was saying about these kids, according to TMZ, Dame Dash can't afford child support. According to Hot Hip Hop, Dame Dash owes $197,000 in unpaid child support and a whopping $8.7 million in unpaid taxes. Dame Dash seen a lot more money than Cam Newton did. So all I'm sitting up here trying to say, man, them kids add up, brother. That's for savvy businessmen who can afford them kids. Eddie Murphy can afford those kids, but as I say, Eddie Murphy was bringing in $300 million first week in 1986 box office. That's good today. I heard someone talking about the new Wolverine movie doing a couple of $100 million, and they were saying that was good.
Did $1 billion.
He was doing that in the 80s.
It did $1 billion worldwide.
Go look up Eddie. Eddie did over $6.5 billion. Over his whole career so far and bringing in money. And he's still working today. He's still on Netflix movies today, bringing in new money.
Cyber, I want to say we've been fixing some things on the stream, but it's been a little bit of struggle. It's definitely we're fighting through it. So y'all got to watch the entire video. I mean, the entire interview. It's like over an hour long. What I showed probably was not the most entertaining moments.
No, that was good. That was good. I think it brought up a good point. I mean, he's saying what I'm saying. That's what I'm sitting up here saying. We've been listening to them say that for years. That's why Jay-Z became who he is. When he changed to the button up and started saying, "I'm a grown man. I'm not wearing that anymore. No chrome on the wheels. I'm a baller for real." That was supposed to be the elevation of him saying that ain't the way to go. He's been doing so many interviews about this as of recently, saying, what did he say? Uh, Money phones, that ain't real money. That ain't cool. What he say? Like going to Europe 12 times, that's cool. Doing something different, seeing something different.
Okay.
They're not elevating it. Deion has been saying that himself. Primetime drove a minivan through Dallas. This is new money that's got him riding in Lambos. He didn't go to Boulder in a Lambo. He's in a Lambo now. Now that he's got this new football contract, yes, he was living good. Yes, he was in Prosper, Texas. Yes, he had the cows and the horses and the Range Rover, I'm sure, in the garage and the trucks parked outside that you can see, but he wasn't flashy anymore. He wasn't riding Rolls Royce. That's new money that's got him riding Rolls Royce. You got to leave something for them kids. Yes, he still had his apartment, and I know this stuff because it all came out publicly in Dallas when him and Pilar got into it over the domestic violence case. So they started to release this information saying he owned a condo still downtown Dallas, in addition to his Prosper home. He was wanting to move to the DeSoto area, the more black area. All this stuff became really public in Dallas. But yeah, Deion rode a minivan. Deion drove a minivan, man.
I mean, I want to, maybe we can replay the cam a little bit later.
Okay.
I didn't realize that the audio was trash. Let me go back to the comments so we don't miss this. Oh, who are you talking about? The Cam Newton interview? What are you talking about? But anyway, like I want to get back to that. I want to maybe replay that Cam Newton thing since I screwed up the first time with the audio. But I wanted to bring it back to the dating and like the low standards. So, like I think two things I was asking people that I had previously dated and or currently dating was one about I was watching the stream that they were talking about Zed, the two people that we're not going to really mention, and they were talking about on the first date it should be, one of them said, the one who was balding, he said the first date should be drinks and appetizers only, and that should be good enough, and only order a meal if the date turns out to be good. I don't know what your take is on that. So I got some opinions of people that I asked. I want your opinion on that, OB.
What's that, brother? Only if the date was good?
Yeah, so I think the point was that the first date should be drinks and appetizers only. And maybe on that first date, order a meal if it advanced to like a meal.
No, I don't think you should. I don't think you can count it. I think it's how you feel. Like I said, the point that I was making is that I had that mind frame, that flashy, when I meet a woman, I want to go do this, kind of just this whole hip hop lifestyle, or I'm not even going to say that. The Tyler Perry movies, the Richie Rich, a good date has got to be like this. And I'm just saying it doesn't have to be. I don't think you can get too much over on a cheap date. Kind of like I said, even if you do a picnic, a good meal, a little charcuterie board, a blanket, shit. A lot of men probably ain't even going to have a nice enough blanket to go on a picnic. They going to need to go buy one of them. Even if you go to Dollar General and buy it, they want $25 for it. So no matter what, you're going to be out of damn near $100 on a date. I'm just saying, start thinking practical. We got to get out of this mind frame and just blowing money like it lasts forever. That was it.
I agree with you on this. I think what they're trying to do is maybe to some degree prevent that, but I think there's a OB that I think, in my opinion, I want to like exhaust this topic of like, there's a fine line of like trying to be frugal and also being low effort. And some of them, at some point, it becomes one and the same. Both of those become one and the same. So I think that, listen, I get it. Like some people might, want to do coffee dates. Some people might want to, like I said, do just appetizers or drinks on the first date. I asked the woman who I'm dating now, and she was like, some women don't feel comfortable starting off with drinks. That's like a level of comfortability or familiarity that they need to like get to know that person first before they're drinking. And like I said, the date I went on with her last weekend, a lot of drinks were drank, mostly between me. And like I said on one of these streams when I was in Vegas and I talked about Girls Collection, I was trying to take that to the grave. I ended up talking about it on the date because she was like, hey, you didn't really go to anywhere in Vegas. What was the problem with that? Why did that not happen? And I was like, yeah, I gotta let you know something happened that kind of like shocked the whole trip a bit. So like, bring it back to the point because I got off the tangent. Is there were two things that I was asking people today. It was like one about the appetizers and the drinks. Is that low effort? Is that what a broke boy would do? I personally like I said, when I go on dates, like I'm going to try to pick great people. And if I bring someone on a date, I'm not doing the coffee dates. I'm not doing just the appetizers. People can order whatever they want. Like if it's a bad date, it's going to be like a one of one. I think the other thing I asked was like the third date rule. That fearless. No, we didn't want to bring his name up, but I just did. Let's just say the person who I just mentioned, he brought up like the third date rule. And I want your opinion on this. Like, I think personally, that I'd rather build something organically. I was trying to remember like what my point was about this, but like I don't like the idea of trying to pressure people. I don't think the third date rule should be a thing. And when I was asking people today, they were like, the person who I previously dated said the third date rule is childish. That's for immature boys. The one who I'm dating right now is like, it depends on what the woman is seeking, but for her specifically, that's not going to be a thing. People like her, they're just going to be out if they figure out that you're trying to talk about that, too early or whatever. So I wanted your take on both of those. I think I kind of got your take on the part about the appetizers and drinks for the first date, but what is your take on like the third date rule?
I don't think there is a rule. I don't think there is. If I'm feeling good and I got some money in my pocket, I might want to do that. Like I've got a job, my last job or current job, I met a girl and I was in training with her, black chick. She was single, whatever. And I told my wife, like, cool. She was asking questions like, when does our first paycheck get here? You know what I mean? So I could kind of tell like, ooh, she ready for this paycheck. So I was just like, well, we've been in here training together for 2 weeks. Let's go out. Let's go kick it. I'll pay for everything. Just being a gentleman. You know what I mean? She's a black woman. I want to support that. I want to help her. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't really, that's just me feeling good and in the moment. But I let my wife know about it. I asked first. You know what I mean? Mutual respect. If she told me to do differently, I would do different. Building camaraderie in the workplace. There's not very many of us in management. We were both in training for management position. So, I mean, I don't think there is a number. I just, like I said, just be smart about it. Get out of this mind frame that we have to live like we're celebrities. We're not celebrities. Money isn't unlimited. That's it. But yeah, I'm like that. I feel like I'm kind of a romantic guy. As soon as I got engaged, me and my wife went and knocked out like 6 countries.
That's what's up.
And that was after wedding ring. We knew wedding we were about to have to pay for, and dresses and venue and all those type of things. New cars were only like, we had just purchased both new cars like a year and a half prior to that. So, I mean, we had just moved to a new place. So I'm all for it. Like, if you got it, do it. But I'm just saying, when I look back on my young self and I see my old self, certain things, I feel like maybe those things should have only been reserved for a wife or someone that I was serious with, and not just to make myself feel good or like a big man, you know what I mean? Or feeling like the TV tells me this is what I should do, so now I need to do it to feel successful. That was the only point that I'm making. But I don't think there is a number. I think that's a cheap ass, a tight ass to walk around looking at the menu and, kind of like Zayed said, and that's just kind of how I was raised, even like going out of town. I'm that guy today. When I'm out of town, I don't look at what I'm spending. I'm on vacation,
right.
And that's how my mother's raised me. You worked hard, you did it. This is vacation. You do what the hell you want to do. That's the purpose of it. It ain't vacation if you got to walk around and ask yourself, how much is this? How much is that? You want to go to a restaurant, you get it. You want to go in, you're in Oregon, they got the Nike store. We're not even going to look at it. At worst, the shoe can be $300, but you've never been to the original Nike store. Just get it. Don't worry about the price. But put yourself in a position to where you can do those type of things.
You're right.
And for some people, that's not for everyone. I admire some people who aren't like that. I got married late in life because I knew it was a certain way that I wanted to live. I don't have children today because I knew it was a certain way I wanted to live that I'm kind of just now starting to see. But I know tons of people who don't have to live like that, and I respect them. And they get along with their significant others, and they've lasted a lot longer in their marriage than people whose parents have given them things and gave them down payments to get the house and all those good things, which are awesome too. But I'm just saying it's not for everybody. So to each his own. I'm just saying realistically, do what's good for you. And we got to get out of this mind frame as Black people are trying to do what we see on TV.
That was the motivation for the stream. I might have scared people off with the album art. The message was really, I want people to do what's within their means and what's within their talents, not following a script of like, oh, this is how you should show up and date. This is how you should live. This is what you should be spending. Because a lot of people will try to like live vicariously through you, whether it's your dating life, whether it's like whatever, and try to tell you like what decisions you should make. But like, I think people should kind of figure out what's best for them and stop trying to follow trends.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay, so let's bring it back. So you wanted to talk about accountability. I like that. It's a very, very, really broad topic. I think we need to kind of talk about it a little bit more on the next men's panel. But
and just like I say, I think they put the wrong people, kind of like CTG said. He said, I'm in Europe, and I didn't even know those stores are owned by Wesley Snipes.
Who?
Snipes is like Foot Locker. He has a store called Snipes, and it's just like Foot Locker, and it's everywhere in Europe. Still to this day, I went to Europe I guess the last time I went was like 11 months ago, and it was everywhere, all throughout Germany. Every mall basically had one, and people don't even talk about that. So I guess my first thing is, why do we keep putting the wrong people on the pedestal? And I don't think it's us. I think it's them. I don't have to say who them is. Like, why do we always give the people the biggest microphone who does the worst for our community? And then our accountability. Like I said, I see Matt Bourne's them trying to come out and defend Deion. And it's like, no, the media is going to ask you tough questions, dude. Your kid has a $15 million lawsuit right out of high school. The kid graduated high school with a $15 million lawsuit for beating up a school official. So that's horrible. You're saying you're going to raise people's children, but your kid is in college owing $15 million. Your kid has filed bankruptcy before he's even gotten married, for crying out loud. Your daughter just married a rapper who we know how those stories go. I don't even think the rapper has had a song, and I don't know how long, his daughter Deandra. So like, what's the plan on that? You know, $20,000 watch, man. Use that you might need to get that to your sister in a couple of years to help her out.
Okay. So you think Deion should not be the one that people look for?
I think I was excited for Deion. I think I was rooting for Deion, but I think now that I've seen what he's done with the platform, he ain't the look for Black people.
Fair enough.
He ain't the one for us to put on a pedestal. He's a perfect example of accountability. Now I'm ready for the Black men of power who have power, who've been preaching this message, like Master P, who, you know, with Master P, he was in Forbes before Jay-Z now. But he said, I'm done with this rap stuff. I don't want to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. And then that's when he started putting his kids in Nickelodeon, using his power to do those type of things. He's got a kid who's a top basketball player who will be definitely in the NBA, just like Deion kids, you know, in a couple of years. Where are these guys at? He's starting cereal companies. Those are real things that we need. You know what I mean? Like, I still eat cereal to this day. I'm not above it. Those are real things. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we need to start getting on this practical. So when you said the Black business, like the bevel, a lot of people don't know what bevel is with the hair clipper business. He could have used that. He could have put it behind bevel. That would have been in so many newspaper articles. Deion kid becomes an investor before he even leaves college. You know what I'm saying?
The question of the day is, Shiloh, going back to it, not to beat a dead horse, Shiloh's got a $12 million, $15 million, judgment against him. When did that happen?
when he was in high school at Deion's school.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
But I didn't know about it. I'm in Dallas and didn't know about it. I knew the school closed down for everyone had different reasons of why it lasted for like 5-6 years. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know this. They buried it. They hid it.
I see. Okay. I didn't know about this. You know your stuff on Deion. I didn't know any of this. I just knew like he's losing recruits this season. That's starting to unravel a little bit. They're focusing too much on Shador and people. He's lost some, people that have run back to the portal or whatever. Yeah, I mean, listen, I want to, like I said, I'll go back to the statement. Like maybe I need to do some more homework on Deion, but like I do want to see black coaches succeed in college and the pros. But you're going back to your point of like, are we raising the wrong idols?
It's black men again. We're not being accountable.
Talk about it.
I said it. We gotta, and like who said, we gotta start focusing on marriage. I think that's where it's at, and building. We gotta quit pointing the finger. And like I say, for me, when it comes to a man, my thing is, you say you're a man, right? You say you're a leader. Help your woman. Oh, she a little loud. Okay, I like loud women sometimes, a little feistiness. But at the same point in time, I also know how to give an example. Hey, babe, kind of change it up a little bit on this, and this is why. Oh, okay, maybe she ain't hearing me today. I'll laugh it off. Maybe next week I can sneak it in. Hey. Maybe 3 months from now we'll see someone acting a fool at a restaurant. I can say, see how that woman being loud? She's just having a bad date. That's how your ass sounded the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's a weak point. We saying these men saying they high value men and they strong men, and a lot of them say they work out and they're about their health. Well, be a man. Like, that's what men do. All our women overweight. Okay. Did you go walk with her? Because she's smart. She make more money than you. She had an apartment before you. She accepted you for that. You can't accept her for her shortcoming.
This is a good point. But you said something about the other day. Someone sounded like that the other day. What are you talking about? You talking about me with the married woman? What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Maybe I caught something. Maybe you didn't work.
Yeah, no. I'm just speaking in just the general sense.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's time for us just in general. You've been married. You did that. A good thing, a right thing. You learn from it. You get back on that horse. I say it kind of where I stand on that. Go ahead.
I'll say, like, one, I'm proud of you. You're married. If people don't already know, I want to get remarried. But what I'll say is this: it's like it's not for everybody. Just like when I think you brought up about earlier, you said maybe an hour ago, you said, why doesn't Cam Newton just become a coach? It's like it's not for everybody. But what I will say to this is, if it's not marriage that some certain people want, they need to be dating intentionally especially at a certain age. And that's where I think it's fucking a lot of men up, is they're like, there's no accountability within families and the community to say, hey, you are a man at 40. Where's your family? you have a family. Why aren't you going to make the mother of those children an honest woman? Things like that. So I'm with you on that. It's just I just know certain men, specifically some certain black men, they don't want to get married.
Like I said, look at Austin. I'm not knocking his mom. I think his mom need love. I think she just need a strong man. All these men seeing they strong and they want the woman to look like this. Okay, she got the high yellow complexion. She got the good hair, as you say. I'm not saying that's all of our thing, but if that's your thing, then support her. She got 2 kids. She needs some help, man. Okay, she cussed them out. She's stressed out. Shit, I might be stressed out too if I'm trying to raise 2 kids and the dads ain't coming over. You know what I'm saying? I've seen loving things, characteristics. I've seen her try to cook a meal when the boy come home in the kitchen and get on his little live stream so he can show his people that, hey, I come from a loving house. I've seen them things. Support her. Like I kind of said about James, you sitting here with her son swiping left and right for women, and his mom your age.
I got.
Why you ain't just give him some guidance and holler at the mom? Say, man, here go 1,000 to help you out to your little what you trying to get going on this next little adventure, man. But do you mind if I ask your mom out for dinner? I want to do the right thing, and if she's okay with this, then maybe I need to step off the scene with you, man, and man up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to men being men?
I agree with you, and this is like it's a whole conversation. Like I said, it's screaming, it's giving men's panel part 2. You know, you brought up a lot of great points. One, the guy James. I don't know how old he is, but he's probably Austin's mom's age. I agree with you. It's like I think that
stupid stuff. Your mom is who your mom is, right? You seen all the people on the internet who said hell no. Some of them telling the truth when they say I wouldn't deal with my mom and she act like that, and some of them just lying and acting like their mom didn't cuss them out last week,
right.
And they don't know that same thing. But my point is that's something a woman got to deal with. Knowing that your mom stressed out should stress you out. And if you stressed out, then that's going to stress that woman out who wants to date you because she don't want to see you stressed out. That's baggage. So give grace. Kind of like I said, I sit up here and watch the dude use the Bible on this YouTube to try to cherry pick and then say, I'm not a red pillar. And he had all these Bible things for what a woman should do right, but not once said anything he's going to give grace on. And then it so happened to be, he said, I'm in Dallas. So I'm like, well, dude, if you the perfect guy who graduated at 22 years old, I don't understand how you're struggling to find a woman. There's plenty in college. And then there's definitely plenty for guys who on the right track.
Who are you speaking
and if that's not you, that's fine too. That's fine too. But if that's not you, that means you're asking a woman for grace. Because obviously you woke up a little late because you didn't go to straight and narrow, right? So then now you're saying this woman weave or her attitude, that's cool. But why you can't give grace on her attitude, but she got to give grace on your pockets or grace on your education? Or maybe you don't go to school at all and, you're just, I told him this, I said, maybe you're just an experienced guy. I've seen people get promoted and become in management positions just through experience. But that normally takes 10 years minimum. Within that 10 years, you probably made some mistakes somewhere and you're going to want some grace for that. Do you give it? To me, that's just being a man. That's just my point that I'm trying to make. Yeah. I hear all these guys saying there, man, I eat healthy. That's the manly thing to do. I don't wear my pants sagging off my ass anymore. I wear slacks now. That's the manly thing to do. I don't wear fitted jerseys or baggy tees anymore. Austin, I wear the good button-ups and I wear clean cut. This is man things. But the one part they forget to be a man is accountability for your home, lead your home, stand up for your home, protect your home, help guide your home.
I mean, like I said, I keep going back to it. It'll be like certain guys don't want a family. Certain guys don't want marriage. But where I agree with the mainstay of it is you should not be out here like a lot of these men downing Black women, downing Western women, perpetuating problematic stereotypes or propaganda of like, don't date a single mom, don't date a woman over 30. They shouldn't be saying stuff like that. That's not what a grown man should be doing. To your point, like Ms. Brooks, the men her age should be trying to date her. It has nothing to do with her complexion. Just if someone's an attractive person, male or female, the opposite sex, and I think that's more of like a guy problem. It's like for specific reasons, guys over 30, 40, 50, like they have some type of problem dating women their age, and we've got to stop. We kind of got to stop that a little bit.
That's not even true. That's an internet talking standpoint. Kind of like I said on here. My mom tells me she's at that dating point. You know what I mean? When she's dating, she has her one or two men she talks to, and she tells me about all the bums who tried to talk to her. They see the nice car. They see she keeps her place nice. She has a nice place to stay. Okay. Just looking for a free place to stay. Woman looks good, has a nice car, has a nice place. Maybe I can come bum off her. As I heard the lady say in the chat before, a lot of them health ain't even good. Right. She can fix me a hot plate and remind me to take my medicine type of men. You know what I mean? And that's the reality. That's reality for a lot of us. A lot of us are busy and life is hard. To know pointing fingers, yes, do better, yes, accountability. But at the same point in time, I understand life. Life happens to us all. You know what I mean? We all need, as I've been saying, that grace and a helping hand. But that's not true. Like a lot of these guys, Vivica, she gained weight. Let's be real. Most of the men I see out here would love, even the married men, would love to cheat with Vivica with those extra pounds. For 60 years old, that weight ain't bad. Some men like a bigger woman with some weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some women just the way they carry themselves. Maybe I would like you to be a little bit skinnier, but your mind right, your job right. Maybe I'm attracted. Maybe none of that's right. Maybe I'm attracted the way you take care of your kids. Man, that woman is really down for her kids. I'm just sitting here peeping her. I want to go see what she about. Let me go ask, can I take her out on a date? Like they not talking about those real things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but like I said, like, yes, there are men who will maybe online, their online persona is like, I wouldn't date this, I wouldn't date that. And in real life, to your point, they're actually dating that. But what I'm saying is like a lot of men, they're being kind of like indoctrinated by the internet, 30, 40, 50 years old. And they're taking those talking points that they're getting to real life and saying, hey, you know what? I'm above dating someone who's a single mom or whatever. So I think it's hurting the community. It's hurting men from actually, like you're saying, manning up and doing what they're supposed to be doing at their age. I think that's the issue I have with it.
Yeah, I just think we ain't living in truth, man. A lot of
Correct.
these guys just out here lying, man. And when you start to really ask them, like I said, you struggling with women? I've been there. How are you struggling? And now I'm a man asking that, and they got to answer that. Now here comes the excuses, and now you want me to give grace on it, but they don't get these women grace. I think YouTube, man, is just, to be honest, I think it's a horrible place, man. I don't know, but I don't think this is a good representation of black men. I think it's kind of almost turning into like a back page type of place. We got guys promoting, you know what, mangoes. If you get on this YouTube, you would think every black man hates black women. All this judgmental stuff. Like I've never been that type. Like even in high school, you know, I was talking to my wife about that. Like I ain't never like when you see the dude who's like, you ugly to a girl. Everybody might even laugh in high school, but at some point, by the third time, someone's checking the dude who's saying that because they looking at him like, dude, you're a fucking bully or you're a coward. You know what I'm saying? I laughed the first time, but that's really not funny. You know, everyone's got maybe a sister who they feel like, is that how you feel about my sister? Is that how you feel about my mom? A lot of these dudes doing a whole bunch of talking that they don't talk in real life. That's just my personal opinion.
No, it's true. It's not just YouTube. Like I don't know if it's you. I don't know. Are you on Twitter/X?
I look at it here and there, and when I do add it, I don't have an account like what people is just for me to look at stuff like advertisements or video games. Like I might follow video game builders because they put little cheat codes on there, that type of stuff. So not really, but I have access to it.
Yeah, like I think Twitter might be, it's just as bad, if not worse. It's just like people, the way they behave on social media, it's disgusting. A lot of people, it's just how they behave on social media is disgusting. And to your point, like I said, like you said, the picking on women, I think you nailed it. It's like black men, Western men, specifically in this climate, they're not giving women grace at all. That's a big part of, I think, what's missing from like the manhood discussion. When you see how they treat single moms, and it's not just I don't think it's just a social media thing. There's no grace that's given.
Look at Ronan. You're obese. The doctor's going to tell you you're obese. Same thing with Andrew. Like, I mean, and I'm not pointing a finger at him or just I'm just being honest. Like, it doesn't have to be funny. And some people it's going to be funny. And the only reason it's funny is because, kind of like they say, people see they throw stones living in a glass house. But so it makes it funny because it's the pot calling the kettle black. But they're obese.
I got to address this. CTG, I don't know who you are. I love you being on this channel, man. You've been giving some like fire commentary, especially tonight. I'll answer the question. Not Vivica now, because but I'll tell you this. As a matter of fact, I want to be able to answer this. How old is Vivica? How old Vivica A. Fox? Because you're fucking with the right one right now. Age. Okay, she's 60. Let me see. Tracy Ellis Ross. I think she's like 56 age. So no. It's she's 51. Okay, I'm wrong. But I'm a 42-year-old man. Listen, I love me an older woman. 60, that's a little far. But
man, I've even talked to a
50?
little white kid I talked to on the video games, and he say the same thing. A little
What?
22-year-old, and I be telling him, man, that is so funny.
What
Because
is he
I remember
saying?
when I was your age, that whole MILF fetish thing. I sit here on the game one day and talk to him about LA Lakers owner, the white Jenny Buss. And he was saying, damn, she bad. Then he got his own little place, so he put his little brother in the chat after we talked to just kind of hearing, like, all young boys had that perspective, man. We done all looked at old MILF porn one or two times on the internet.
Listen, like I said,
so my point is, then these guys get on here talking about women hit a wall. Bullshit. The search engine says differently. Look at me in search engine. It says differently.
That's the point, OB. Do you think that's a social media thing, or you think that's a real life thing too? I just wanted your take.
A social media don't want to tell the truth. Insecurities of their own life. Like I said, I get it. Vivica's not perfect. I see Travel Wife even say her butt, she messed up. I agree. But even with that big butt, I know plenty of men who love it. Everybody got flaws. That's just her flaw. That's her flaw.
Who did the BBL? Vivica?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it does look out of proportion or not necessary, but I'm still saying what I'm saying. Like, I know for 60 years old,
I think 60 is probably out of reach for me as a 42-year-old man. I like women my age and older. Like I said, 50, 55, I could maybe do that. But like, if you're gonna be 60, I'm gonna need you to look. I'm gonna need you to look great. And
all I'm saying is, if I'm not married and Viva comes talk to me,
it's not.
First off, she's famous. But let's just say she wasn't famous, and she just. Like, if your mind right, you got a beautiful mind, you successful, you've raised a family, you've been married. Like, I'm attracted to that. Like, I'm attracted to success. Whether that's success in keeping yourself up, whether that's success in helping your kids be successful, whether that's success in you being a married woman. Like, I'm attracted to success. So I'm younger than you, Chris. If you talking right, your mind right, I ain't a married man, 60 will get it too. Now, long term, we talking a different story because, yeah, that's just totally different when I'm 50 and you 75 and, yeah, you can't move like I'm moving. So, yeah, but short term, you know what I mean? To say that it's not possible for me to be attracted to a 60-year-old woman, that would be a lie for me to say so.
I think, like I said, I think 60 might be going a little too far for me.
And that's fair. Everyone does have a preference. That's fair. I'm not saying everyone thinks like me. I'm saying a lot of men think like me.
I will raise this.
So for a 50-year-old man to tell me they got an issue with that, and I'm a 30-year-old man saying I don't have an issue with that, I find it far-fetched.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of talking about before. It's like I see there's a problem with women, men who are around Vivica A. Fox's age, saying, "No, I'm not going to date someone 50." Those men are 50 or 60 or whatever the heck. They need to be dating women closer to their age. They don't need to be like Roger Crafting it or Al Pacinoing it and trying to like date someone who's like 20.
So what you're saying is they wouldn't talk to J-Lo? Ain't J-Lo 50 now?
Okay, yeah, let's get J-Lo.
So what you telling me is they would be turned off by Taraji P. Henson? That's what you telling me now?
Jennifer Lopez age. No. See, they you know what? I'm gonna raise you this.
Is Beyonce 50 now? Shit, what is she? 48?
No.
46?
I'm 42. Beyonce is probably 43, 44. Let me see Beyonce age.
And if she is 43, go ahead, tell me, because this is okay. So she's 43. So now compare her to Vivica. So you telling me Vivica looks bad? I'm looking at CTG talking all this about Vivica. Beyonce's 43. If she's the top of the chart and it don't get no better then, and Vivica's 60, then what the hell is Vivica? Because she don't look too much further from them. They damn near look the same age.
Who?
Beyonce. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. She don't look too much younger than Taraji P. now. And Samaya Latham. I've seen Samaya Latham. She's starting to gain that weight with age. She's starting to age. But 4 years ago, I would say Samaya doesn't look too much different in age from Beyonce. I'm sorry. I don't see it.
Wow. That was listen, I love you, OB, but that was a highly disrespectful statement right there. Sanaa Lathan and Beyonce even close. Wow.
I'm saying it.
See CTG? I agree with this. I'm never banning OB, but what you said was highly disrespectful. It was highly disrespectful.
Maybe we just attracted to different things. Like I said, I can be attracted to someone just because, you know what I'm saying, they're a good mother and they try, they hustle hard. They might not even be successful. They just a hustler. They're gonna do whatever it takes to survive. I could just be attracted to that alone.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that too. I'm attracted to that too. I love. I've said on these panels, like, I love a woman with some chutzpah, with some spunk. I love women who and want women who are ambitious. The woman who I'm dating right now, all the women I've dated.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
I was saying all the women I've dated, I want the woman to be more intelligent than me. I want her. I want ambitious women. I want educated women. So yeah, I get you on the drive. That does something for me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. What? Wow. Okay. But to OB's point, J-Lo is 55. She looks good. So I think
so the wall don't work there, huh? Is it her or is it the success? If she was just a regular mamacita who worked at the local Mexican grocery store, would she still be that bad, or is it the success you're attracted to?
No, I think J-Lo is extremely driven. So she's keeping herself up and looking great. That's not the average woman 55 or 45 or 60, whatever. So J-Lo, that's what I was trying to say. It's like a woman or just a person who we've said this on these panels because I don't want this to be focused on women. Kevin Samuels used to say men's value goes up as they age. There can be high value men, as they get older. Oh, no, you're not if you don't keep yourself together. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you have if you don't keep yourself together, and you're 40, 50, 60, you're not that very desirable. People do have eyes. So J-Lo, 60, we can probably book it. J-Lo is very consistent. She stays on point.
So what you're telling me is you never dated a woman as pretty as Savannah James, LeBron James' wife.
Let me just do some Googles.
Or Steph Curry's wife.
I dated better. Because me personally, I don't think
that's my point. Beyonce is just another light-skinned chick, man.
No.
Is taller and thicker. She's not all that. So to say she's just killing Vivica or anyone else is just like, get real. It's the success you're into. It's the fame that you're into.
No, hold on. First and foremost, no shots at Steph Curry's. What's her name? Ayesha Curry. No shots at Ayesha Curry. It's just not my type. So someone who's not my type is not going to be like extremely attractive to me. Wow. Okay. Savannah James. That's why I wanted to do some Googles. I don't know if I believe this. Savannah James looks good, but I don't think she's touching Beyonce. Beyonce. So yeah, I can't get with the Beyonce slander, and I'm not really a fan of her music or anything like that. But Beyonce is a very attractive woman.
You like her fame, sir?
No.
You're addicted to her fame.
No.
I've dated women who just about the damn near same complexion and everything as Beyonce. 5'9", 5'10", thick, just like that. Play volleyball, them type of sports, so they thick in the legs. Yeah, and yeah. So my point is, she's a normal chick. It's the fame. It's the success.
No, like it's not like I said with J-Lo. J-Lo could be J-Lo from the block, and we could know her for nothing. She could just be there in Jamaica, Queens, or Brooklyn, or wherever she's from. If you're 55 and you look like that, and you, regardless of whether your ambition or whatever, you look good. Looking good is looking good. It has nothing to do with. I get it with the fame. Like, listen, at my previous company, there was a woman, still to this day, that I find I think she's probably 55 now, that I found very attractive, and part of it was just she, the career, the ambition, the kind of that drive, stuff like that. That was a little bit attractive to me, but some people are attractive just on the strength of like the vanity, the beauty, stuff like that. Some people are attractive for like other features, but no, Beyonce is attractive.
Okay. I'm just saying there's tons of normal people who are just as attractive.
Yeah, I agree with this. So wait, say that again, Obi.
I'm saying there's just as other regular people who are just as attractive every day in just everyday life.
Sure, I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying there aren't. I'm not saying they're not. But yes.
So I mean, like you said, I don't want to just keep going too long about just women and looks and just I was just trying to kind of just touch on a point. That's basically it, man. That this whole wall thing is just crazy to me. And a lot of these guys, they want grace given to them, and when they want grace given to them, they got to give grace. And they don't talk about that. They don't talk about how they lost their job and had to go live at mom house at 32 years old, or got a divorce at 40 and had to ask a brother, can he stay? Or brother, can you loan me $10,000 to stay on my feet till I get back on it? And now they're in the old truck. They lost the new truck that the wife was helping them keep when they were married. You know, they don't talk about those things. You know what I'm saying? Those things that they're going to want grace for. But those things I'm naming, those are just life things. That doesn't make a person bad. That's real life. If you don't fall into something of this category, then damn near you're perfect. And if you're perfect, then perfect people don't have problems with finding women. And that's what I'm going to tell them. I don't understand how you're this successful and you can't find women. That doesn't add up to me, sir. Everyone I know who's successful, and it falls in line with even their theory. All women just want money. Well, money comes with success. So if you got all this success, you should have no trouble finding a woman. So what are you not telling me?
That's true. That's true. And I was like, without beating a dead horse, like part of this stream that like just didn't take off was like I wanted to talk about, you know, how, to your point, some of these dudes just need to admit it. They're not good at dating, and dating has different components of it that
these guys go ahead.
No, you go.
No. I was just gonna say these guys ain't gonna tell you how, you know, I'm a college graduate. When you graduate college in that shitty job that they thought they were gonna get straight out making 65 and they got out making an hourly pay. Like they ain't gonna talk about that. But that's grace. That's needing grace.
I think that's one of the things, like I think you nailed on it. Not BA, OB. Men are there's a lot of different factors of like influencing men to not give grace to other people, especially for women. And that's what like we need to change. Like the whole manosphere stuff, it is leading men to just take grace away. And it's not, I don't think it's manly. I don't think it's right. I was trying to think about the point, but keep going. I think I lost my point. But yeah, they're not giving grace. Like you said, like one of the issues with that, OB, is like, they are not putting them, they're very, a lot of them are very scared to take an L. So they're like, hey, they haven't been married. So they haven't taken an L in a divorce. They don't really, they never were engaged. So and that broke off. So they never really took any L's, versus a woman who decides to, you know, be a single mom, or, you know, whether divorce or was just unwed. And then they choose to say, oh, look, that person's life is not perfect. That person's beneath me. And it's like, to your point, I was thinking about today, I was like, I think a lot of these people, to your point, are just like struggling with other things, whether it's this economy and they're just bitter, or they haven't done the work on themselves. They haven't really set themselves up for the life that they really.
I heard people say, go ahead. I heard people saying that this, I'm reading comments and it's catching me, and it's on point with what you're saying. Sorry. And that's my last time doing that for the night.
No, say that. No, say that. No, it's okay.
It said, you won't see a panel of women bashing themselves. And that's not true. Like I see tons of videos about women saying, you know, this has been rough for me, or being single, you know, it's becoming lonely. I don't know what to do. I had this health problem, so it's causing me to gain weight. One day I was watching someone that I had put my wife on, a young girl. She's at her 20s, got her little apartment downtown. She's basically trying to be a vlogger of just, you know, upscale lifestyle or whatever. And she was like, I haven't pooped in 2 weeks. She's showing her belly where it's bloated in that area. She's like, I went to the doctor. So the point is, oh, they're vulnerable. And this was a girl at 25, living in Atlanta, showing her 2-3 bed. I think she has a 3-bedroom apartment. She does little streams, cooking, and those type of things. So I want
to focus on this. Everybody did get their laughs off at 50 Cent looking very chonky, as people might say, well fed at the Super Bowl event. But after the Super Bowl event and he fixed himself up, the problem, CTG, is that men are given grace to be able to snap back and get themselves in good fitness. But if Vivica A. Fox, you know, lost the weight or whatever, people would still say, not me, but people would still say she hit the wall and she's washed up or whatever. That's the problem, in my opinion.
She is 60.
True. Good point. But I'm sure there are 60-year-old men where people are just like, Harrison Ford, he's probably like 80 now, but people well into his 70s, well into his 60s, people are like, he's the sexiest man alive. He's in the conversation. That's what I'm trying to say.
But I also think they judged on realistic standpoints. Like people been saying that about Denzel. Denzel has a bod dad. He got buck teeth. You remember that meme going around the internet with the teeth sticking out? They like him for who he is. They like him for who he is, man. We got to get back to that. These unrealistic standards is just crazy.
And when they talk about the wall, they're not talking about like 50 or 60. They're talking about 30, which is ridiculous. That's
when most black men probably ain't even at their mama's house until they're 30.
That's a fact. Okay, hold up. It was so undesirable to a lot of people when she was. No. I'm not agreeing with this.
What's that? Tell me.
He's saying that Vivica was undesirable to people when she was at her peak attraction. That is not true.
See what I'm saying?
She was the creme de la creme. I remember those days. Hold on. The thing is, this is what I said. Who said that about like 30, 40 minutes ago? I said like people at Vivica's age should be like, yo, let me try to holler at maybe Vivica A. Fox, or let me try to holler at Austin Holman's mom. But like they go to OB's point, they're gonna go even lower. I think he brought up James as a point of view, who's probably in his late 40s, maybe probably, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna try to go get me a 20-year-old Thai girl, when he's got Austin Holman's mom who's in her like 40, early to mid 40s. This is a serious problem, and I've argued with my friends with this for ages, and I still will continue to do it. Like, I don't understand this notion of 40, 50-year-old men saying, someone convinced and indoctrinated men to think a woman hits a wall at like 30, 35, and 25-year-old women are the most desirable. It's like, why?
They're all trying to be celebrities. Everyone wants to be Michael Jordan now, and I don't know where this has came from, but everybody wants a young wife because Mike got a young wife. You see the game? He impregnated Evelyn's daughter. Everyone wants to be the Game. We forget Game was a rapper and involved with G Unit and all that, but everybody wants to live like they're a rapper. Like, come on, y'all. It's cool to make comments and barbershop talk, to be a little googly eyed here and there. All of it's fun and games, but at some point, reality has got to snap in. So what's the change? What's to fix it, though? So I think that's the key. I think, we look at the wealth gap. Black people are at the very bottom.
Yep.
We've been here. We helped build this country with white people.
Okay.
Latins have come here and within 70 years have surpassed us.
Mm-hmm.
We're not getting married. We all say it takes two people in the household. To keep it going, it takes two people to make a kid. So that's got to happen. If that's got to happen, we got to keep these marriages together. What are we going to start doing? Because that was my thing, accountability. And we got to start building. And, like you said, I'm just interested for people, to kind of maybe share black businesses they support. Kind of like I said, but I think we got to get to some practical things. There's a lot of practical businesses that we need in communities that people of wealth really aren't building.
Yeah.
We all say it to food. Everyone's got liquor now. Liquor we really don't need like that. We damn sure really don't need as black people. We're the last in wealth. What are we doing spending $100 on a bottle of liquor?
Or
when you got $40 bottles that do the same thing that you probably can't even tell the difference in. And I'm guilty of it too.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, there's a lot of things that could definitely be improved. I think you touched upon it for hours ago. Is like black men need to get back to, if it's not marriage, it's taking care of families and community and strengthening communities.
Yeah. If it ain't marriage, let's start talking about the reality of how hard it is to maintain a house by yourself.
Yeah.
I know I need them weeks. I might go 3 weeks where I clean the house. My wife may help 2 out of the 3, and by that 4th, and I'm like, I just ain't got it in me. I'm sorry, love, but this is gonna be the week where I'm about to leave bowls in the sink. There's 2 cups in the other room because I sat in there and played video games all night and left it sitting beside a chair. Can you help a brother out? And that help come in handy, man. Or ordering some groceries. We order groceries to the house. I don't want to get on there and do that. Like, life is just easier when it's 2 people, man. I ain't even got to the financial. I'm just saying the most basic, things that we need help with. When you sick, sure is helpful when you got someone who can run down the street for you to CVS and get you some medicine.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say is like, in order to strengthen that, like there has to be grace given. We've got to. I've said it for like many months ago. This gender war is just men. It's not men and women. It's a male insecure. It's a male fragility kind of a thing, in my opinion. And these movements are discouraging men from being able to just get down to find happiness, because it's like they're turning it into I've got to compete. I've got to get this 20-year-old. I got to get myself together so I can be a high value man. It's like, no, like just there are people who are gonna like appreciate you for who you are, where you're at right now, if that's what you want. But let's see.
Sure is nice when you're in between jobs and you got someone to say, I got the bills. Take your time. Look,
Right.
be stressed out for the week. Do nothing for the week. You just resigned from your job, quit your job, or got laid off from your job. Sit back for the week. Relax. Take it in.
Mm-hmm.
Go do something you enjoy. Go to the movies. Go play a game of golf. Go play a game of baseball. Go play some pool.
This touches on a good little topic. Yeah, man. I'm sorry, OB. Like,
y'all gonna make me repent, man.
Man, you might need to get splashed with some holy water tomorrow. I mean,
oh Lord.
Like, listen, Beyonce, salute. Like, I appreciate the work you're putting in, career and everything else. Like, she looks great, and she's doing it. She works really hard. But so getting back, I think to your previous point.
Before all this stuff, and I remember like when I first graduated in college, I was telling my lady, if I could talk to one white lady, it would be Hillary Clinton. You know why? Because I was just looking her up and I learned, oh shit, this lady was on the board of Walmart. She was on this board too. Oh shit, this lady is smart, babe. I remember telling her that.
Okay.
I was attracted to old Hillary. Okay. Old 58-year-old Hillary probably at that time.
Okay. I get it. But I wanted to talk back to the accountability point. How do we get to accountability? You talked about family, you talked about marriage. Like, is that it? I
think that's the only 2 things that you do to build. Educate yourself, build, work as a team. I think that's it. Whatever your spirituality is, whether that's yoga and no church, whether that's church, whatever works for you.
Okay.
I think we kind of touched on everything today. I'm talked out. I'm about done.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about exercising, the struggles of getting to the gym, different places you can go. We got college football started last weekend. Deion's got his first game this weekend. We talked about that. We brought up the game a little bit. Another young guy, I think he's like 41, talking to the girl who's like 33. So that's the old man, young man. But at the end of the day, that dude's made millions and's been on his TV. I still don't think it's the best go for him because, once again, when has he had a last good rap song? But yeah.
To your point about the game, and you're saying like he got someone pregnant. Are you talking about Evelyn Lozada?
Yeah, her daughter.
Wow, that's crazy. But he got sued. Since you know all the tea about Deion Sanders, I think in one of Game's like reality shows, he got sued for like sexual harassment, and like he owes like some Shiloh type money, like 12 million, 20 million, something like that.
So he broke as a joke that messed this girl life up.
Yeah.
Probably her first kid. First kid gonna be with the worst of man.
But yeah, I mean, I wrote down, I think today's stream, even though there was definitely some struggle in it,
And he broke his house because his first wife was a school teacher.
Okay, this is maybe we go out on
So
this.
a good woman, he fucked that household up. A good woman doing the right things. She was being a school teacher and he was dropping hits. I remember that because of the reality show. He went up to her job.
Who said that? I want your take on this. I want maybe Travel Wife's take two. Maybe even CTG because he's getting some fire tweets off lately. OB, you and I think let's go out on this because like you said, like we're kind of talked out. I'm gonna save maybe the next stream to just talk about Passport Bro stuff.
Okay.
But and like I said, maybe the album art for this stream scared everybody away. But let's talk about this. Let's go out on this one question and then let's call it a night.
Okay.
How do black men? I think we kind of talked about it a little bit. You said families, like how do black men change the narrative amongst themselves to value marriage, family, and children? I'm gonna say so. I'm gonna say like it sounds horrible, but like we have to get rid of the old guard because the old guard is the reason why we're here. Their mindset of sow your wild oats and all they want to try to push it to the young community and say the younger people and say like, oh, they're just struggling. They don't value the women are different than our great great grandfathers. It's like not everybody has changed. So it's you can make that point on both sides, but it's like I think we have to get rid of the old guard, and I think we have to at some point start to get rid of that noise. Start to see it for what it really is. It's alt-right, it's Republican, it's far-right crap. And we have to really start to see those people for the losers that they are and get back to being able to show grace and be able to, like OB has said, and also appreciate where we're at, whether that's the person who we have, whether that's our living within our means. And I think a lot of that stuff is like adding noise that's discouraging people from really appreciating like the opportunities they have and the things that they have.
Okay. I agree with that. Even when you come say to the far right, like I think it's a YouTube thing, but I think it's but at the same point in time, the people on the internet are the people in the streets. I don't think every platform is this, I hate black women. But I said, I don't think every platform is like, I feel like YouTube is just very black men, I hate black women. I got rid of my Instagram and all that stuff, but when I was on it, it wasn't like that. Yeah, you had your couple of complainers or whatever, but I mean, nothing to this extent. What's up?
CTG is saying marriage, family, and children aren't the answer. What?
Yeah, but that's why I say it. So what is? I'm not saying everyone has to have. I don't even have children. I'm not saying marriage is. I just happen to get married. Something I wanted to do. I don't want to be calling my wife girlfriend for forever. Shit seems weird to me at a certain age.
Yeah.
And I just see the benefits of it. We already had, even before we were married, we had each other's back like that.
Yeah. For black women, I'm echoing who said that is saying whatever black women are doing right now, they need to keep doing that. What they're doing is great. But black men, I think that they've got to get out of I was trying to say it, but I was struggling.
I like that.
I was struggling to say it. Black men got to get out of the group thing. Cause like Obi, you're saying like, oh, it's just a social media thing. No. Guys in real life like I've said on many podcasts, like they turned dating into a pissing contest and it had nothing. This was pre Kevin Samuels. A lot of guys weren't able to really think and still aren't able to think for themselves. Like these dudes who are buying into the Kevin Samuels stuff of like, don't date a single mom, don't do this, don't do that, do that. They want traditional families. They're not going to be able to sustain those traditional families if they're always looking to other people to learn, to figure out what do they need to do, where do they need to move, how they need to appreciate and not appreciate things in life. But men have to be able to start to think for themselves. They have to realize that masculinity, they've got to show and highlight more of the positive aspects of masculinity instead of the toxic ones, the self-serving parts of perceived masculinity. They need to, like we said on the stream earlier ago, about how do they build communities and feel pride and take pride in that, even if it's not at the the finished product yet. As you've said on maybe previous streams, it's like you see maybe Hispanic families, the guy is able to self-sacrifice more than we're seeing the black guy doing, and the young black men are doing it in their families or for their families.
I agree.
So let's see if CTG has a serious answer. No, I agree with you. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, and that's what I was sitting here typing and writing that. Responsibility. What is responsibility? To me, it's everything we name: therapy, accountability, giving grace, forgiveness, accepting people's flaws. I think that's what love is. Like every day, you don't feel the same about your significant other, but are you willing to love them even when you don't feel like you're head over the hills? Are you willing to help them even when they got on your last nerve? Are you willing to fight with them and stand beside them even when they did you wrong? I think that's what love is. Isn't that what our parents do for us? The definition of we say our parents gave us love, that unconditional, even when you fuck up, they still got your back. Right. Even when you're getting on their nerves, you still got they still got your back. Your parents wouldn't throw you away because you got an eating problem, but that's what they saying. If overweight's the problem, your parents wouldn't throw you away because you talk loud or because you got around some friends and now you think being ratchet is cute, would they? But that's what they saying, dude. Doesn't make sense to me, man. Just doesn't make sense to me. I'm on my focus. Work it out. Spiritually getting right. Need to start going back to church. Enjoying work. I try to help people. I'm not on the internet trying to, if someone asks me what I like to do, I might share that I like to travel or whatever. But other than that, like just being in a manager position at work, having people underneath me that, like I said, I can speak on their behalf if they're going for a promotion. That's my give back.
Yeah. Your wife has a great post like right here. We were pressing Wesna, aka Poppy Rico. Yeah, men post 50. I want to know, is James over 50? He doesn't look it, but what Poppy Rico / Wesna, he definitely does. But yeah, I think this is something that's like toxic for our community and just for men. It's just like, I don't know if this chasing the 20-year-old smoke show post 50 is like their second childhood. I don't know.
Having these conversations, I love it that we had this conversation today. Deion, we wish good for him, but at the end of the day, brother, you got to do better. This flashy watch shit got to come to an end, man. We supposed to be past that, man.
But how does he do that, OB, when his background and his persona is about Flash? It's prime time.
He used to know in Dallas. His thing was he tried to commit suicide and ran his Porsche into a brick wall, and then he became big. It was either TD Jakes' church he was going to, or I can't think of the other major pastor. This is the Bible Belt, but it was the same one that Ricky Smiley was going to. It was one or the other. And it's to the point where I got plenty of friends in the Frisco, Allen, McKinney area, Plano area. And one of the gentlemen, he went to a Lifetime Fitness that Michael Irvin went to in Plano. And he was like, yeah, Michael Irvin comes in here all the time. He sits in the locker room naked reading his Bible. Like, that's what we know him as in Dallas. Him and Deion was like the Bible guys, the bad boys who played for the Cowboys and gave their life to the Lord. When you watch Deion's interviews today, everything is God bless, but he's kind of gotten away from it a little bit. Like, I'm shocked. I thought he was going to be doing things like maybe trying to get the players to go to church, whatever their religion is. They have that stuff on campuses of all faiths. You know what I mean? Just groups, fellowship, worship to talk of all faiths. Why isn't he encouraging that on his players? How about dressing up on game days? Penn State has that. He can easily instill that. Game days, suit and tie. Names on jerseys, no names on jerseys. Those are coaches' decisions. I don't want it to be about just one person. We work as a team. He can change that.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like a lot of stuff is. Maya's finally joined the stream. Hey, what's up, Maya? Yeah, it's. I need to do my homework on DM, but I think it's sad to see or sad to hear what you're telling me today. That for all it seems like Deion tried to keep his players, specifically at JSU, and maybe it's you go ahead.
His own house isn't in order. You got a kid who's unmarried, pregnant now by a rapper. What does she do for a living? How is she making ends? Your one son didn't go out and find a job on his own. He's doing the recording for y'all. So basically, it's just using my cell phone and recording videos and putting them on YouTube and uploading them and putting catchy phrases on them. No one else can just do that if your dad ain't who he is. But your dad is who he is, so I'm not knocking it. Your other kids already filed bankruptcy. So, like, really, right now, but unless he got some baby, I think he might have 2 more baby boys that we're not seeing right now. They're not in the limelight. The oldest, the quarterback, is the only one who's really doing something with himself successfully. The other one's not married. She's knocked up. You had opportunity because you come from a family with money, so you're not successful. And the dude who you're knocked up by hasn't had a hit song, and I don't know when. Your other son is in bankruptcy. And your other son, he didn't do the NFL thing. He's got tattoos on his hands. And yeah, you just gave him a job. So really only one of your kids, life is in order. But you telling other people, I'm going to raise your kid like my kid. And I look at all these kids like my kids.
It seems like I guess I got to do my homework on Deion because and catch up to speed with this. It breaks my heart to hear this because I know he's flashy. But I just didn't know a lot of this stuff.
Who are good leaders that we got in our community? Who is somebody that you would call a good leader right now in our community? Black men.
Yeah, let me think about this.
What about Eddie George? He's a football coach, NFL player.
Yeah.
Married to R&B singer, still with the same wife. He defied the stereotype. He's very light-skinned or fair-skinned. His wife's very dark-skinned. Not saying that only dark-skinned women, because that's not the case either. Nothing wrong with fair-skinned women, but I'm just saying he went against the grain of a stereotype. Still with the wife, still married.
It's a fire question. I'm kind of stunned. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to think of some examples. We can easily go for the Obamas. How about that?
Okay, but he's barely black.
Wow. Okay.
He was raised by both of his white grandparents.
No judgment.
No judgment. No judgment. Just saying it's not fitting for us, for me. Like, I can't relate to it.
Let me think about this.
I got plenty of little mixed cousins, but they're younger than me. Omar Epps. That's a good one. I like that.
Obi.
Thank you, Miss Maya. Thank you. Yeah, Omar Epps. I like that. You don't like that one?
Yeah, I like this one. I have to tread lightly because I'm like, if I say Denzel Washington, people have some receipts saying he cheated on his wife. So
things happen though. I would still go with him. He's still with his wife. We all make mistakes. She's giving him forgiveness. He ain't obviously just being disrespectful to the point, like kind of like Michael Irvin did. He cheat on his wife, get caught on the news at a stripper's house and with cocaine in the house. Just basically I'm saying just, recklessly repeating the same thing but asking for forgiveness every other week.
Who said that? I got to see a little bit of the clip. It was inspirational. I did like the orientation Morehouse does kind of show out for other orientations. It was great. It was good to see. I'm trying to think of who else.
Method Man, LL Cool J. Those are good ones.
Method Man.
Those are good ones. Especially Method Man. Went from the guy who's known for smoking weed to moving how high.
I'm going with LeBron.
His physical fitness going, and
I'm going with LeBron.
LeBron. That's a good one.
I think it's a good one. Married.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Let's see. Why does women always have to work through a man's betrayal? I agree with this, Maya. That's why I said I wanted to tread lightly. Because I didn't know that Denzel Washington had some infidelities. And someone like put me on the spot about it. It was like, no, do you actually know that she kind of like he did that? And I was like, I didn't know, but no, they don't. But LeBron, I'm gonna go for LeBron. I'm trying to think of who else. Who else? Yeah, it's a good question.
All we got are entertainers, man. That's sad. That's sad, brother. That's sad.
It
I
is.
guess LeBron homeboy who he gave a job, Rich Paul. I like him. He's different. Businessman, became an agent, got his education and certification behind it to do it. For a matter of fact, I'm gonna go with him over LeBron.
Wow.
And that's no knock on LeBron. Because it's more relatable to the everyday man. Just a regular old certification, something that we all are blessed to be 6'8" and jump out the gym. Not saying that you can. Go ahead.
Sorry, this is a flagrant little tweet. Infidelity doesn't take away from their accomplishments and contributions. But we're talking about leaders. I don't know if I. Oh boy,
No Nelson Mandela.
He went there. He really went there. So,
no Cory Bookers.
I
No
don't know.
Don Lemon. Lemon.
Let me think about this. I really want to get back to you on this. I'm just drawing blanks. Yeah.
No Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Man's wrote like 15 books.
Man, after I don't want to go on a tangent. He kind of like when the Milwaukee Bucks had their championship run, he doubted them. So everybody who's a Milwaukee Buck fan was out on Kareem, and he kind of shit on LeBron too. He wasn't really appreciating LeBron the way he did as LeBron was approaching his record. Eventually,
he came to the game when LeBron broke the record. He was at the game.
It was a photo op. It was a photo op. He had to do it. He had to do it. He was kind of there as a puppet. I'm just maybe being a hater a little bit, but okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else. Who's a leader?
Yeah, so we got to get some accountability, man. We got to start figuring out how to work as a team, come together. That's what my research told me this weekend, through all my research. Accountability and working together, man. At the end of the day, even voting and all that stuff's nice, but I don't know about you, but whether Trump wins or Kamala wins, I got to say I'm still going to be good. I'm not saying I'm going to be. I'm saying that's got to be my mind frame going into it. I don't care who wins. I'm going to be good. I'm going to take care of business.
Right. Yeah, I said that.
Require accountability.
Yeah, I said the same thing like a few streams ago, a handful of streams ago. Regardless of the outcome, I'm still going to be focused on personal growth. Hold on. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know what they're saying. But I mean, you had some great questions. Who are the leaders? I really want to think of one.
What's the black business? Let's end it on that. What black business? If anybody put in the chat, and books. I also heard who that giving a book. I would love for her to come up here and kind of just tell us a little bit about that book that she's reading. Maybe we could start discussing books. And I'll even get a book. Like if she got a book and she wants me to get it, I'll read it as well.
Hey,
I think we should start that.
Obi, does Tyler Perry count? He's got to count.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he count?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about that? That's a topic.
He's an entertainer.
If you want to keep on here a little bit longer, is it wrong for people to not like Tyler Perry's films? Do you think he's really doing a disservice with his films that it's always negativity?
I argue with my friend all the time because I think that there's a point where people who watch films can become film snobs. I think that there's a place for Tyler Perry film. And I need to watch Divorce in the Black. I've heard it getting shit on, but I need to probably watch that tonight after we end the stream. CTG, we'll have to talk about this next stream. Oh, wow. There's gotta be, listen, I don't know who said that. If you've seen the movie I don't know if it's called Acrimony, the one with Taraji P. Henson in it. It's not a great film by any means, but when I went to go see it, it was like the quintessential talk in the movie. Everybody was having a ball talking in the movie. Wow, Tyler's a no. And I think he's had some films that were good, but most of them they're just like fast food. And so his TV shows, let's talk about that. He's got a TV show called Sisters. It's not bad. It's actually, I haven't watched it in a few seasons, but it's pretty decent.
I like his stuff too, but my wife's always shitting on him, so she's kind of ruined it for me where I quit watching him. And now I kind of started, I'm like, dang, it is again. He just being negative again. Like, I wanted to see his new one, and I'm going to watch it tonight. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it my business to watch it tonight. The one with the young lady from Destiny's Child.
Divorce in the
Kelly
Black?
Rowland.
Divorce in the Black?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm going to make it my business to watch it tonight.
Okay, yeah, me too, because I think Tia Mowry or Tamara Mowry's ex-husband is in it, I think.
Okay.
But I need to watch it. Somebody said it was terrible, but I think it's been doing some numbers on Netflix or whatever.
I think his movies are good. I started doing that. Like, I never went to movies until I started dating my wife. She took me to like my first play, and it was it had Cole in it from Martin, and that was pretty cool experience. And damn, another big actor, man. I can't think of his name right now. I would have to ask her what his name is. But so that's when I first started like going to the movies. Before that, I was just always hanging out with the guys, running the streets. But like, I enjoyed his movies, like just seeing black people in powerful positions, just trying to kind of do the right things, kind of like what we've been talking about. What was it? Best Man, the one where like one lady owns the beauty salon and Marcus is in it and he's the sportscaster. Then you had Janet Jackson, who's the professor. Like, I enjoyed that. So I don't know where it went down where people just started saying all of his movies suck.
Best Man wasn't his movie.
Maya, if you want to tell me in the comments, please. I know you kind of know what we're talking about because you said he's a no for you.
Best Man, it wasn't his movie.
So what was the one then? And then it had the guy die at the end with the Porsche, and then The Rock came. He was supposed to be Janet Jackson's new love attraction, but we never got him.
That's Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2. That's actually 2 specifically.
Okay, yeah. Like, I thought those were good. Like, those motivated me. Like, I would see them type of films, and I'm ready to go to class tomorrow and hit the books. I need that A. I need to get there. I need to have it.
You know what? The first one was good. The first Who Did I Get Married? Why Did I Get Married? I thought was good. Let's see, Tyler Perry's best films. And he's put some Netflix stuff out too. Because I want to.
And I see who said that Broadways. I haven't been. I need to. I need to get back into culture. Us just having this conversation may make me do it.
So Divorce in the Black doesn't have Kelly Rowland. It's got that guy who got canceled for Kang the Conqueror. He's got his girlfriend.
So who's the love interest? I thought it was Kelly Rowland.
No, it's
who is it?
It's Megan Good.
Damn. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Me too.
Because everyone just I don't even know if that movie made $1. Everyone just said it was trash and they wasn't gonna watch it.
It's been killed on Netflix. Like, let me just do this. Google Divorce in the Black Netflix. I think it's been
Have you watched The Hamiltons? I haven't seen it. I know what it is, the rap music with the presidential explaining it. I maybe watched clips, but I haven't really watched the whole thing.
Hold on.
Okay.
So Divorce in the Black earns Amazon record for new subscriptions. Hold up.
Because everyone said they are not watching it. I'm like, damn. And I just kind of started to go with it. Like, I guess the people are right. Guess this is trash what Tyler Perry's doing. But then, like, I kind of got to thinking about it the other day, and I was like, is it really trash?
Yeah, hold up. Let me just share.
What about that one? Did you like that movie? It had Mike Epps in it, and it was done by Tyler Perry. I don't know why he hasn't produced any more movies. Like, where the mom, like, comes to the wedding, and the girl's rich, the family, and, like, the dad, maybe he had infidelity. No, he was losing money, and he didn't, like, tell the wife about it. And they got married in, like, Martha's Vineyard. I like them type of films, man.
I need the name of that. But Divorce in the Black is doing well.
It is.
I need to do.
So everyone's lying then. Everyone's saying they're not watching Tyler Perry, but they clearly are.
The critics hate him. I think it's like, let me look at this.
Look, no one in the comments did who say that? Say she what? No one in the comments. All women said Tyler Perry is a no. I tried to watch Since I love the actor.
Got a zero.
But I had to
zero.
stop. It was horrible. So even who saying she don't like his stuff either. So
okay.
yeah, please watch it.
Okay.
Anybody listening, please watch this. What is it called again, Chris?
Divorce in the Black. I gotta watch it. But how about this?
So we can discuss this.
So that since they don't like Tyler Perry, how about Spike Lee? Everybody's gotta like that. How about that?
I enjoyed the Nola Darling. That was his last one he did on Netflix. She had the sexual problem. Some people, I think I think a lot of women didn't like it because she was just being very loose, sleeping with a bunch of different random guys. But I liked it. It was very artsy.
Okay.
And one of the gentlemen in it, I think he was in the Hamiltons. He was in that play, The Puerto Rican Boy. I like him as an actor in general. I watched him in Transformers as well. I think he was in, and he was really good at it.
Okay. Oh. Let's see.
I like docs too. I'm not as big on them as I used to be on documentaries, but I do enjoy a good documentary.
I love an animal documentary.
Oh shit, man. You love my wife's algorithm. It's all space and animal documentaries. I can't do it. She's into it, but I can't do it. I'll watch it sometime, but not like that.
Okay. I don't know.
All right, so that's where we ending for the night. That's the new thing. I'm gonna go watch it, brother.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go watch it and see what it's about. We'll talk about it in the next stream. But who said that? I'm gonna make a post about the book club. Post the books tomorrow.
Please, y'all. I like these recommendations. Like I said, this channel is motivating me. I know American Talk was saying keep it going, and he enjoys hearing us. I'm enjoying hearing y'all and learning from y'all. It's motivating me to go do stuff that I haven't done in just a while. Just as far as researching, y'all had me reading academic journals, man, trying to find out about this single parent stuff, and I learned a lot from it. Like I said, I walked away with something. I never really thought about the educational aspect of it, how that affects stuff.
Nice. Yeah, we were gonna talk about channel direction. We'll save that for another stream. But
you ending it on your date? You gonna tell us about your date, or you gonna say
if y'all want to see that content, we can do that. I was gonna say that for another stream, but if y'all want to watch, if you want me to show that, I can show that.
It's your call. Whatever you think, brother.
Let me think about this. Should we save it? Save it.
Maybe you'll get BA in here.
Yeah,
love to give you a hard time.
Exactly.
Let him have some fun with you.
Let's do it. Let's save it.
All right, everybody. All right, Chris.
Yeah, y'all have a great night.
All right.
All right.